I remember the warmth of the first body I ever tried to save. What? Not the heat of battle, not the searing blast of a starfighter strafing the ridge above us, not the lingering hiss of a bolt still burning through armor. I mean the warmth of a living being, clinging to the last threads of consciousness, trembling beneath my hands as if the force itself were flickering inside them. That warmth stayed with me, long after the war stripped everything else away, long after the Order stopped being a sanctuary and became a machine, long after my own certainty dissolved into the red-stained mud beneath thousands of broken forms. The Clone Wars taught me many lessons, but that first moment taught me the cruelest, that light is warmest where it is closest to being extinguished. I carried that truth into every battlefield, every triage tent, every shattered cruiser hallway washed in emergency lighting. Even now, when I close my eyes, I still feel the warmth of beings I could not save. It moves through memory like a second heartbeat. A quiet, steady thrum beneath all the noise. Something I once believed was the Force guiding me. Later, I understood it was only the echo of guilt that refused to fade. My name is not important, because the war made names irrelevant. It called us what it needed: General, Knight, Healer, Commander, Asata. And we answered, because the alternative was to break under the weight of everything we were expected to uphold. I was trained as a Jedi consular, specialized as a battlefield medic, refined into something smaller and sharper by the necessities of triage. They called us healers, as though the word did not carry 1,000 contradictions into every moment we walked into carnage, created by the same republic we served. My earliest memories of the Order were quiet ones. The temple always smelled faintly of incense and polished stone, a calm that soaked into the skin. When you're young, you mistake stillness for strength. Later, you learn that stillness can be the silence before a storm. I was still a Padawan when the blockade of Naboo became the spark that would ignite a galaxy. I was still learning to steady my breath when the Council sent us out as peacekeepers. I was still naive enough to believe peace was something we could maintain simply by wanting it. By the time the first battle of Geonosis ended, that belief was gone. I can still hear the shift in the air the moment the droids opened fire. 1,000,000 metal bodies advancing with perfect synchronicity, and the Force ringing with the screams of Jedi dying faster than we could comprehend. I was not in the arena. I was outside, in a newly constructed triage station cobbled together from transport crates and whatever fabric could be stretched into shade. The bodies came in waves, burned, crushed, limbs severed, eyes clouded with dust. Some were already dead, and we did not realize until the stretchers hit the ground. Some were alive but fading, their presence dimming in the Force like candles in a storm. That was the first time I felt the truth of war through the Force. It did not feel like purpose. It felt like drowning. The clones arrived soon after, bred for a conflict they never chose. I remember how eerily quiet they were when the surgeries began. No screams, no flinching, no hesitation. They regarded pain the way the Council regarded emotion, something to acknowledge but never embrace. I learned quickly that they were not machines, but they were conditioned to believe otherwise. Their bodies healed fast, but their souls saw. If they had been given time, they would have carried cracks through a lifetime. The war denied them even the mercy of growing old. My role changed the moment the Republic gave us command of legions. A Jedi healer was not kept behind the lines. We were embedded at the center, where casualties stacked faster than back-to-tanks could cycle. They told us to preserve life. They told us to embody compassion. They told us to maintain detachment. It is impossible to do all three at once. You cannot save a dying soldier with detachment. You cannot preserve life while preserving yourself. The first thing the battlefield takes is the illusion that your soul is intact. On Christophsis, the ground trembled with each artillery strike. The crystal spires channeled sound in strange ways, turning distant detonations into haunting harmonics that vibrated through the air. I knelt over a trooper whose chest plate had been split open by shrapnel. His breath came in a wet rattle. His gloved fingers twitched against my wrist. "Ah, stay with me, I said quietly, though he could not hear me above the firing. The force pulsed in my hands, slow and steady, coaxing damaged tissue to knit even as the battle roared around us. The smell of burning insulation mixed with the metallic sting of blood. Something inside me steadied, the way it always did when the rest of the world dissolved into chaos. He lived. Others did not. One trooper asked me once what dying felt like through the Force. I never answered him, because the truth is crueler than war itself. A living being is a strand of light, a warm filament woven through the cosmic weave. But when a soldier dies violently, that light does not fade. It snaps. It fractures into shards. And every Jedi on the battlefield feels those breaks like glass, splintering beneath the skin. Every single one. During the second year of the war, I began to dream in red. Not blood, light. Red light, seeping through cracks in armor, cracks in the hulls of cruisers, cracks in the Force. I knew better than to interpret dreams as prophecy, but every time I woke, that red glow was still there behind my eyes, pulsing in time with a slow, rhythmic beat. It reminded me of the way the medical frigates hummed when life support systems were strained past capacity. A mechanical heartbeat that never stopped, even when we wished it would. The war carved routines into us. Wake, wake, meditate. I deploy, tone, stabilize, heal, one, lose, repeat. How do I? Each routine masked something deeper, the fear that no matter how many we saved, the tide of death would only rise. The clones learned to look for my silhouette through smoke when explosions tore through the line. More than one told me my presence made them fight harder. But for every soldier who found strength in me, another died in my arms, whispering things they were taught never to voice. I do not want to die alone. No, my brothers, I stayed with the line. I do not let them recycle my armor. Nahe, let me be done. I remember each voice. I carry every one. The turning point came on Balmora. The Separatists unleashed a new wave of experimental droids that moved with disturbing organic unpredictability. Heart cell walkers lumbered across the plains, firing plasma bursts that melted stone. The air was thick with ionized particles that made breathing painful. Our landing zone was compromised within minutes, and the triage center became a last stand rather than a sanctuary. I lost 4 healers that day. Not to the droids, to overextension. They poured out every drop of themselves into the wounded until the Force surged back through their exhausted bodies like a tidal wave, frying their nervous systems beyond repair. We buried them in the same valley where we buried the troopers. No distinction. No hierarchy in death. After Balmora, something inside me shifted. My hands still healed, but they trembled afterward. Not from exertion, from fear. The fear that the Force was slipping away from me. The fear that compassion was turning into weakness. The fear that if I faltered, even for a second, someone who deserved to live more than I did would die. The Council sensed it. They told me to meditate more, to embrace serenity, to let go of attachment to outcomes. Yet every time I closed my eyes, I saw the same thing. The endless red glow behind my eyelids, throbbing like a dying star. On Umbara, I learned what it meant to heal soldiers who no longer trusted the Jedi. General Krelos' campaign fractured entire battalions. Troopers arrived at my station whispering that he was sending them into slaughter, for reasons none of them understood. The casualties were obscene. Bodies dragged from fog-choked trenches, with limbs twisted in impossible angles. armor scorched black, eyes blind from phosphorescent spores. The troopers did not look to me with hope anymore. They looked to me with questions they did not dare ask. I tried to heal their bodies. Their spirits were beyond my reach. Oh, you were no, not tea. I began to understand then that the Order was not prepared for what war demanded. We had been trained as guardians, diplomats, seekers of balance, but the galaxy needed weapons, tools, symbols of unwavering confidence. The clones followed us because they had been conditioned to, but on Umbara, they began to see our cracks. And once you see a crack, you start imagining the shatter. The breaking point came later much later on a dust-choked moon whose name does not matter. The battle had already been lost by the time we arrived, our gunships descending into a crater carved into the planet's surface. The air smelled of scorched circuitry and carbonized bone. Wounded troopers lay in rows along the ridge, their armor half melted, their blasters fused to their gloves. My healer team moved quickly, triaging by touch and intuition. The force flickered weakly through the carnage, dimmed by the number of dead. Then, I felt it. A presence slipping away so quietly, the force barely registered it. I turned and found a young trooper, no more than a year past decanting, collapsed behind a half-slagged turret. His helmet was cracked, his breathing shallow. His eyes were wide but unfocused. I put my hand on his chest. No. His heart fluttered like a dying bird. "Are you going to be all right?" I whispered. "I'm sure." He looked at me. Really looked. And in that moment, I felt something through the force I had never felt from a clona. A complete absence of fear. Not calm. Not acceptance. Just emptiness. "I know what they did to us." He murmured. I heard the Kaminoans talking. We are not meant to survive this war. His voice shook. Not from pain, from betrayal. Generala, am I dying for nothing? I felt something tear inside me. It was not physical. It was not emotional. It was the force itself, recoiling as if the galaxy flinched at its own reflection. He died before I could answer. After that, the hum changed. Not in the machines. Not in the field generators, or the transports, or the medbay lights. In the force. It grew louder, constant, insistent. Whenever I touched a wounded soldier, I felt it vibrating beneath their skin. Whenever a trooper died, I felt the hum drop into a sudden void. The war was becoming a single, unbroken frequency of death. And then the day came when the hum collapsed entirely. Order 66. We felt it before the comms crackled. A spike of pain so vast, it eclipsed the battlefield. A scream through the force that cut through flesh and thought alike. Jedi across the galaxy flickered out like lights being smashed under a boot. My clones turned on me in the middle of a field hospital. I didn't ignite my saber. I didn't have time. A medic in white and blue raised his rifle at my back, and I felt the warning too late. The shot grazed my shoulder. I fell against a rack of surgical supplies. They hesitated, not because of doubt, because of conditioning fighting instinct. These were the men I had healed, the men whose names I remembered even when they didn't remember their own birthdays. But programming buried everything about who they were supposed to be. The next few minutes were a blur of smoke and screaming. I didn't want to kill them. I tried to disarm, to disable, to flee. One crashed through a tent flap with a vibroblade raised high, another through a thermal detonator that tore the medical station apart. I escaped only because the force dragged me through the fire when my legs refused to move. I spent the next weeks in hiding on a nameless moon, where the forests grew too thick for scanners, and the nights were colder than carbonite chambers. The hum was gone by then. Silence filled the force, heavy and suffocating. I reached for the presences of my fellow healer saw. Nothing. I reached for the counsela. Nothing. I reached for the familiar warmth of the troopers who had once trusted me, only echoes of wounds I failed to mend. Why? I expected to die there. The galaxy did not need healers anymore. It needed silence. Time lost shape. Days bled into nights. Nights bled into hallucinations. The force felt thin, as though stretched across an emptiness too vast to comprehend. Then came the transmissions. Cold, imperial, triumphant, announcing a new order, a new peace. New owl, a new empire built on the ashes of every life I had ever failed to save. I did not leave the forest until my ribs grew sharp beneath my skin, and my hair fell into my eyes like dead vines. I walked until the trees thinned and the sky widened, and the galaxy revealed itself in a wash of stars that felt colder than back to frost. The war was over. The Republic was dead. The Jedi were hunted. The clones were repurposed. The galaxy had moved on without me. But the warmth remained. Not in my hands. Not in the Force. None. In memory. Dodi. Every life I touched. Every life I lost. Every soldier who trusted me in their final breath. Yato. Their warmth is the only thing the Empire could never extinguish. Even now, when I sit alone in the ruins of what once was a sanctuary, I feel it flicker through me like the last ember of a dying star. A reminder of the truth the war taught me. Light is warmest where it bleeds. And I carry that warmth still, because someone must. Because someone has to remember what it meant to heal in a galaxy built to break. Because if no one remembers, the hum will rise again, and the galaxy will mistake the sound of dying for the sound of living, and I will not let that happen. So dear, not while the Force still allows me breath. I did not understand then that survival is its own kind of wound. In the first months after the purge, I moved like a shadow across forgotten systems. Freight barges, abandoned mining stations, forest moons where the locals spoke in hushed tones about Imperial patrols sweeping the hills. Every place I stopped carried the same tension in the air, like the galaxy itself was holding its breath. Rumors followed me like echoes. Jedi sightings, Inquisitors hunting, clones aging too fast for their armor. I tried to quiet the force around me, tried to dim myself into the background of life, but healing had shaped me too deeply. The force clung to me, the way blood clings to fabric even after you wash it, 12 times. I avoided contact when I could. But sometimes someone found me anyway. A farmer with a crushed leg on a backwater moon. A child trembling with fever in a spaceport alley. A merchant with shrapnel embedded too close to the spine for a droid to risk. In those moments, my hands moved before my mind could catch up. The warmth returned. The hum returned. The war returned. And after every healing, fear followed. The Empire did not need to confirm the Jedi Purge was ongoing. You could feel it in the way people glanced over their shoulders, in the way stormtroopers patrolled with the mechanical precision of the clones they replaced. You could see it in the gleam of the new Imperial crest, stamped on every wall like a warning. I lived in half-empty places, cargo holds, abandoned shrines, the forgotten decks of decommissioned cruisers. The galaxia's wounds were everywhere. Some were physical, others ran deeper, through the collective spirit like fractures in a kyber crystal. Once, on a derelict refueling station, drifting above a pale green gas giant, I met a group of war orphans. They were barely old enough to speak clearly. One boy had a scar running down his face, the kind left by a glancing blaster shot. They watched me warily at first, as if sensing that I carried something fragile and dangerous beneath my robes. The boy approached me after the others fell asleep beside a dying heater. "You were one of them," he whispered. I didn't answer. Silence was the safest truth. "Me? Me father," said the Jedi, kept the peace. He paused, eyes unfocused. "Abu, everyone says you started the war." "Oh, you killer." I felt the old ache, the splintering of truth beneath propaganda. "We did not start it." "Oh," I said gently. "Abu, we failed to stop it." He studied me as if trying to decipher something ancient, buried beneath my skin. "How can you fix things?" He asked. "I know just people." Everything." The force wavered inside me, thin and strained. "I know," I said. But I can try to fix what Hada's in front of me." Now. He nodded slowly, as if accepting an imperfect answer because it was all anyone ever had. "I healed his scar that night, Not because he asked, but because the force tugged at me with a quiet persistence. When he touched his newly smooth skin the next morning, his eyes widened in something I had not seen in a long time. Hope. It terrified me. Hope draws attention. Hope draws danger. And the Empire fed on both. I left before dawn, my robes still smelling faintly of smoke from their heater. When I looked back, the station was shrinking into the dark, its lights flickering like dying fireflies. I told myself I would not return. Attachment only led to loss. The Council had repeated that teaching endlessly. But now, in the Empire's shadow, detachment felt less like wisdom and more like cowardice. The Force did not speak to me anymore. It observed. Cold. Distant. As if it too was waiting. I drifted from system to system, following rumors of surviving Jedi, though I rarely believed them. I found traces, scorched stone in a ruin, where someone had fought and fled, a shattered holocron half buried in sand, the lingering presence of someone who had touched the Force recently but violently. But I never found the people themselves, only their echoes. In time, a pattern took shape. Wherever the Empire hunted Jedi, the air carried a particular stillness, a silence, like a wound sealed too quickly. That silence pulled me toward Ord Mantell. It was not the kind of world that drew attention, unless credits were involved. Crime families, scrapyards, factories that never slept. But beneath the noise, something was trembling. The Force pulsed faintly through the city like a heartbeat, hidden under layers of machinery. Someone was here. Someone using their gifts recklessly. Someone desperate enough to risk detection. No! I followed the pulse to a warehouse on the outskirts of a sprawling junk district. Inside, sparks showered from towering heaps of droid parts, casting flickering shadows on the Duracrete. A young girl knelt beside a broken service automaton, her tiny hands hovering uncertainly above exposed wiring. She was whispering to herself, voice shaking. You can fix it. Ow, she murmured. You can fix it just like before. The Force rippled around here, raw, untrained, trembling like a shard of kyber caught in a storm. I stepped forward slowly. I'll stop, I said. Are you all? Hurt yourself. She jerked around, eyes wide with terror. Her fear slammed into the force like a shockwave. I did not do anything. She stammered. I say was na, ta do not know. Anrido de tur, no musilbistilben. I knelt, palms up, empty. Are you not in trouble? I am not like them, she whispered. I am not a Jedi. Not a Jedi, rant Albenracher. I know, I said, voice steady. Abu ya, like me. Her breath caught. Tears spilled down her cheeks as if a lifetime of hiding had torn loose all at once. I did not mean to fix things. She sobbed. It just happens. And then people get scared. And they bring soldiers. Now? Well, I understood her better than she could imagine. Children like her would be hunted, broken, or trained into something unrecognizable. The Empire did not tolerate wild lights in the dark. I reached out gently and touched her forehead. The force surged through me, a reminder of warmth, of purpose, of the healer I once had been. You wanna be alone? I promised. But promises are fragile things. The warehouse's metal walls vibrated a second later. A low, rhythmic tremor. Heavy footsteps. Now, armored boots. Now, Imperial. I'd had seen me, chow. The girl's breath hitched into panic. I felt her fear spike through the force like a scream. I looked at her. He did not. She scrambled into a hollowed stack of droid parts. I stepped into the center of the warehouse, just as the main doors burst open. Stormtroopers flooded inside, blasters raised. Their white armor gleamed under the flickering lights. A silhouette followed them on, tall, cloaked, carrying a presence that chilled the air. An inquisitor. Hamilton. Not one of the more infamous ones, but trained enough to sense a ripple in the Force, trained enough to hunt what the galaxy no longer wished to see. He spoke with the calm of someone who had done this 100 times. There was a disturbance, a flicker of the old ways. His mask hid his eyes, but his attention locked on me. Now I find you instead. Curious. I said nothing. Silence can be a shield. You are no warrior, he said. Your stance betrays it. He stepped closer. Ya, healer. That's so Jerry, Chompersu, a more rare. Precious. The Empire could make use of your talents. Yanti. My heart beat once, hard. The warmth in my memories felt distant, almost extinguished. I know, I said softly. He ignited his saber. Red light bled across the walls, casting jagged shadows. The girl trembled in her hiding place. I felt her fear like a crack in the air. The Inquisitor tilted his head. Ethan, you die. I had not fought with intent since the war. I had not wanted to. But healing and fighting share one truth. Both are driven by necessity. When he lunged, the Force stopped thinking. I moved. The warehouse erupted into chaos. Sparks heat, the metallic stench of scorched machinery. Stormtroopers shouted. Blaster fire tore through the air. I deflected what I could, redirected more, always stepping between the girl and danger. The Inquisitor fought with brutal efficiency. I fought with desperation. No. At the heart of it all, I felt the warmth again, bright, insistent, flaring through my veins. Not hope. Not pride. Purpose. A healer protects life, even when all else collapses. When the Inquisitor drove his saber toward my chest, I caught his wrist with both hands. Pain tore through me as the blade grazed my side. I pushed the force through his arm, disrupting muscle, nerve, intention. His weapon spun from his grip. He stumbled. Surprise flickered in his presence. I did not kill him. I did not need to. I collapsed the catwalk above him. No. Steel crashed down in a deafening roar, burying him beneath tons of scrap metal. The silence afterward felt suffocating. I turned to where the girl hid. She crawled out slowly, eyes red from crying. You saved me," she whispered. "I know, I said, voice rawed. You saved yourself. I only gave you the chance." Well, she looked up at me with a fragile trust that felt heavier than any wound I had ever treated. What happens now?" She asked. I did not have an answer. The galaxy was no place for a child like her. And I was no master, no mentor, no guardian. But I was all she had. "Hawe leave. I said. Far from here. And after that? I glanced at the shattered doorway, where daylight streamed in like a wound in the darkness. After that, we try. No. Her hand slipped into mine. It was small, warm, alive. And for the first time since the purge, the warmth did not hurt. It reminded me why I still breathed. Because someone had to carry the light. Even when all that remained around it was blood. The first days after we fled, Ord Mantell were strangely quiet. Not peaceful, quiet in the way a wound is quiet when it scabs over, hiding infection underneath. The girl stayed close to me, moving with the instinctive caution of someone who had learned too early that the galaxy punished visibility. We boarded a half-functional cargo skiff, abandoned near the scrapyards, and coaxed its engines into reluctant life. The vessel groaned as it climbed through the polluted atmosphere, its hull rattling as though unsure it wanted to fly. She sat beside me in the cockpit. Her feet barely reached the deck, plating. What should I call you? Now? She asked. The question hit harder than any strike the Inquisitor had thrown. Names were dangerous now. Names carried histories, traces, threads that someone might tug on. But she deserved something. Some fragment of truth. You can call me what you like, I said. She thought for a moment, brow furrowed in concentration. Healer, she said finally. The word stung and comforted at the same time. A reminder of what I used to be. Too old. A reminder of what I still could be, despite everything. And you? I asked quietly. She hesitated. Her fingers worried at the frayed seam of her sleeve. I know, one never gave me a name, she said. Hey, people who took me in on, they just called me, kid. Her voice trembled. Not with fear, shame. As if lacking a name made her less real. I shook my head gently. Then we all choose one out, I said. Together. When yondre ready. She looked out the viewport, watching the gray clouds peel away into the thin upper atmosphere. Yod like that. The skiff carried us beyond the outer markers, into the thick lanes of freighter traffic. From there, I plotted a course toward a sector the Empire rarely bothered wahing, an expanse of unremarkable worlds with nothing worth conquering. The kind of place where people lived small lives and hoped war would never reach them. We landed on a barren moon orbiting a gas giant, its surface carved by ancient meteor impacts and threaded with old mining tunnels. The air was thin, but breathable. The settlements were sparse, half abandoned. It was the sort of place you could disappear if you kept your head down. We found shelter in an old Prospector Raw's outpost, where the Durasteel walls had collected a century of dust. The girl explored cautiously, wandering through collapsed rooms and silent corridors with the same tentative steps Shad had taken around the droid scrap. I watched her move, sensing the raw current of the Force flickering around her like a candle flame in a draft. Untrained children are dangerous, not because of what they intend, but because of what they feel. Fear, loneliness, hope, realm. All of it magnifies. All of it spills outward, uncontrollably. I needed to teach her control. But control was something I barely remembered having myself. Our first night in the outpost, she curled up beneath an old thermal blanket. The wind outside howled through the valley like a living thing. I sat near the doorway, keeping watch, letting the quiet seep into my bones. The warmth I had felt during the battle was still there, faint but steady. I didn't sleep. Not then. Not fully. My dreams had become too sharp, too red. At dawn, she approached me cautiously. Are we safe here? She asked. For now, I said. Empire might find us unless we draw attention. Oh, she bit her lip. Well, Alik, I did on with the droid. I shook my head. We're trying to fix something broken. There was no shame in that. She nodded, though her eyes betrayed doubt. We spent the next days making the outpost livable, clearing debris, sealing cracks, repairing the power grid enough to generate dim lighting. She followed my instructions with surprising precision, though her small hands struggled with heavy equipment. And every so often, when she thought I was not looking, she would use the Force. Tiny things. A tool nudged across the floor instead of being picked up. A panel light flickering when she concentrated too hard. Dust swirling in a slow spiral around her wrist. She was not subtle, but she was trying. One evening, she sat beside me near the auxiliary generator, her legs dangling from the edge of a metal platform. Can you teach me? Oh? She asked. I had known the question was coming. I had hoped it would come later. What? Do you think I should teach you? I asked. She thought for a long moment. How to, make it stop hurting. I breathed slowly. Iodo, you mean the Force? No. She nodded. Awe does not listen to me. It pushes. It pulls. Sometimes it feels like someone else's hands on my shoulders. One day a chill went through me. Not fear, recognition. I hope that is not the Force, I said quietly. I hate Taz, your fear. Everyone feels that at first. Honor, no. I heard it, did you? How he is. How did you stop it? I stared at my hands, at the faint scars. at the tremor that sometimes returned when memory cut too deep. I did not, Om said. I learned to move with it. Auntie, and the music set. Ah, she looked disappointed, but only for a heartbeat. Then, curiosity overrode everything else. How can you show me? I hesitated. Training her would tether us together. It would paint a larger target on both our backs. But leaving her untrained would be crueler. I placed my hands palms up on my knees. Close your eyes, Osh, I said. She obeyed. No breathe, I whispered. All slowly, as if y'all trying not to disturb a pool of water. Her breath steadied. The force rippled faintly. Now with your chewings. Ashtargar. Good die. Now do not reach for it. Let it reach for you. For a moment, nothing happened. Then the air shifted. The dust in the room settled. The wind outside stilled. A quiet warmth flickered between us, gentle and bright. She gasped. Toss it out, I murmured. You are not bending it. You're Andre listening. Her brow furrowed. I tansa. Warma, she said softly. A memory struck Mia. Warmth beneath my palms as I knelt over dying troopers. Warmth slipping away as life left them. Warmth lingering long after the body cooled. Yeza, I said. Our light usually is. Moaned. She opened her eyes, hope softening her features. For a moment, I was not afraid. That moment is enough, I said. I'll build from there. Training her became our ritual. At dawn, breathing exercises. At midday, meditation. At night, small control drills, lifting stones, guiding airflow, sensing distortions. She learned fast, too fast. Children, with strong potential, always do. But she also laughed sometimes, and cried, and slept deeply beside the old heater. These things mattered more than her power. They meant she was still a child, not yet another being shaped into a weapon by a galaxy addicted to conflict. Weeks passed, then months. Seasons shifted faintly in the distant valley below. The Empire Aw's reach never brushed us. The quiet grew familiar, like a scar healing over but still tender when pressed. But nothing stays hidden. Not forever. One night, as she practiced moving a small bolt between her palms, I felt it again. The hum. Faint. Da-yu. Distant. Dot-yow. But unmistakable. It pulsed through the force, like an echo from another life. No machine caused it. No living being nearby. This was a hum I had felt only on battlefields. Only in the presence of something dying. Or something about to be born in fire. I stood slowly. She looked up at me, sensing the shift. What is it? She whispered. I listened to the hum reverberate through the valley, through the tunnels, through my bones. It grew louder, steadier, more insistent. A warning, a summons, a memory. Aitons the galaxy, I said quietly. Kanjing. Das tim tu. No. She swallowed. Is it coming here? The hum spiked, sharp as a blade. Yay? I said. We need to be ready. Ah. The air grew cold. The warmth inside me flickered. And far above the barren moon, something vast and metallic slipped out of hyperspace with silent, predatory grace. A star destroyer. I knew you. Gray. New. Triangular. Dot. Uncompromising. A shadow built to eclipse lives. We were no longer hidden. We were found. At first, the destroyer did nothing. It simply hung there above the Munos horizon, a blade suspended in an unspoken threat. The engines burned a cold blue against the black of space, illuminating the edges of the fractured ridges below. I felt the girl inch closer to me as we stood outside the outpost, both of us staring upward as though the sky itself were watching. Why are not they firing? Ah, she whispered. Because they do not need to ought, I said quietly. I know yet. No. The Empire did not waste firepower on suspicion. A Star Destroyer-on's presence alone could break most worlds without a single shot. Fear was cheaper than bombardment, and fear traveled faster. You know, Simpson. The girl tugged on my sleeve. Yep. Our air they here for us? I closed my eyes and reached out. Well, the force stretched thin between us and the void above, vibrating with the faint signatures of thousands of lives aboard the Shippa officers, gunners, pilots, stormtroopers. None familiar, none obvious, but something hid beneath the surface. A presence I recognized too well. Cold. D. Confident. D. Patient. One. Inquisitor. I murmured. No. She flinched. The memory of the warehouse still ran raw through her mind. Hey, another one? Or are they hunt in many numbers? I said. Especially when they track potential. Her face tightened. Now, not just with fear, guilt. Did I bring them here? Nah, I did not lie to her. Not now. Yes. Her breath shook, as if her small lungs had suddenly lost their capacity to hold hope. But listen to me. I said, placing a hand lightly on her shoulder. This is not your fault. The Empire hunts anything it cannot control. You did nothing wrong. She nodded, but the shame lingered in her expression. I had seen that look before. In wounded clones who survived while their brothers did not. In Padawans whose masters fell in battle. In healers who could not save someone they cared about. Survival leaves a scar deeper than any wound. We retreated into the outpost. The walls felt smaller now, the corridors narrower, the shadows sharper. She kept glancing at the ceiling, as if the destroyer might press through the rock at any moment. How long do we have? She asked. I know long, I said. The Arnold send scouts. You need to make you alter. They should master key. Patrols. Die. Probe droids. She swallowed hard. We can run us, she said, voice trembling with fragile hope. We can get back to the ship. Are they on? Disable it first. Or track us the moment we lift off. Ivan, what do we do? I walked deeper into the outpost, passing the dim lights we had repaired together, the heater she slept beside, the meditation corner where she had learned to breathe without shaking. Each step felt heavier than the last. Ahoy, prepare, I said. For what? Yesu. For Being found. Ah. Her breath hitched. Are you? Said we were safe. No. I know I said softly. I said we were hidden. Ah. Her eyes filled with a hurt I had not meant to inflict. A hurt she deserved to understand. The galaxy did not reward illusions. Illusions were how I once believed the order unbreakable. Illusions were how soldiers marched into battles. They had no chance of surviving. Illusions were how children like her were promised safety in a world built to erase them. She followed me into the central chamber of the outpost, an old mining control room cluttered with dust-covered consoles. I placed my hands on the metal table, steadying myself. When the Empire comes, I said, you must stay invisible. I cannot hide from them. Out, she whispered. I know, if they feel me. Toss. Why you been training? Control is not about power. It is about silence. She took a breath, tried to hold it steady. No, tried to focus. But fear rippled through the force like cracks, spreading across ice. I am trying out, she said, trembling. I am really trying. I know. I knelt in front of her. Listen to me. You are not a weapon. You are not a target. You are a child who deserves a future. And I will not let them take that from you. Her stare locked onto mine with desperate intensity. Boo, what about you? I forced my expression to remain calm. She did not need the truth yet, that I had made peace with dying long before she found me, that healers often did not survive their patients, that survival through Order 66 had been an unexpected cruelty. What happens to me does not matter, I said. Yes, she said, voice cracking. It does. No. Something in her tone pierced deeper than any saber could. Something fierce. Something growing. Something alive. I placed her hands between mine. Listen carefully, I said. If they come, you run. You find the tunnels beneath the outpost. They lead to the far cliffs. You follow the slope west until the ridge dips low. Hide in the caves. Donna, reach for me. Donna, reach for the force. Just breathe. Tears spilled down her cheeks. She whispered. I not without you. Day. You must, I said. I wanna, tatadi, identimin, kaisherda taster tone, tra. You have to. She pulled her hands away. I am not leaving you again. The force rippled around her, raw, bright, uncontrolled. I opened my mouth to answer, but the outpost lights flickered once, then again. Then, all at once they died, plunging us into darkness. A second later, the distant echo of metallic footsteps reverberated through the tunnels beneath us. They were here. The girl clung to my sleeve. What do we do? She whispered. I exhaled slowly, letting the old training settle into my bones, letting the memory of battlefield triage guide me the way it always did when fear threatened to crack me open. Always stay quiet, I said. Always stay calm. The footsteps multiplied. Troopers. Many. Died, dude. Many. Taking positions. Our sword of the. Advancing methodically, sweeping every tunnel with practiced precision. I felt the presence the Nosh, cold, disciplined, coiling through the force like smoke, curling around a dying flame. The Inquisitor? Not the one from Ord Mantell? A different signature. This one older, sharper, less reckless, more patient. Duh. He knew we were here. He wanted us to feel him coming. The girl squeezed my hand. I am scared, she whispered. No. So, am I? I said. All fear means we're still alive. Ah. A shadow passed across the hallway outside the control room. A stormtrooper. Helmet turning. Rifle raised. The girl's breath stopped. The air tightened. The trooper stepped inside. I moved silently, swiftly before he could react. A disarming strike. A pressure to the throat. A sleeper hold that dropped him without a sound. The girl stared at the unconscious soldier with wide, terrified eyes. "Are we going out?" I said softly. We slipped into the side corridor that led toward the lower shafts. The air grew colder. Dust swirled around our ankles. The hum of the Star Destroyer above vibrated faintly through the rock. Halfway down the corridor, the girl froze. "Aheyas here on?" she whispered. I wouldn't. I felt him a moment later, a presence behind us, distant but closing. The Inquisitor was descending into the outpost. Step by step, D1. Unhurried, confident. We don't have much time, I whispered. She shook her head. You feel different. Time? Nani. She was right. This one did not burn with the chaotic hatred of the younger hunters. His presence was composed, focused, almost surgical. I recognized it. He had once been a Jedi. Ahoy if he finds us together, I said quietly. Oh, he will use me to break you. I wanna break you. That's what every Padawan believes. I am not a Padawan. I know, I said gently. You are more vulnerable than that. You. She stepped in front of me suddenly, fists clenched. You are not fighting him alone. The conviction in her voice startled me. It was not childish defiance. It was something older. Something that felt like destiny tightening its grip. No, I taught you to survive, I said. I know to fight. Rao, could you, one shoe? But the footsteps behind us grew louder, closer, unavoidable. She looked up at me with trembling determination. I don't want to lose the only person who ever tried to keep me safe. No. I placed a hand against her cheek. She leaned into it, seeking the warmth that reminded her she was not alone. Are you Wanata? I said softly. Boo, you must trust me. Her breath steadied. I do. The corridor lights flickered. And at the far end of the tunnel, a blade ignited. Red, Gao. Sharp, E. Steady. Daibensu, Shobi. The Inquisitor stepped into view tall, robed, mask reflecting the crimson glow. He moved with the poise of someone who remembered discipline long before he remembered cruelty. His voice echoed through the shaft, calm and cold. Healer, he said. Ahoy, have been searching a long time. Remember me. The girl pressed against my side. I'll let her go, he continued. And your end will be quick. My hands shook, not with fear, but with the weight of every life I had once failed to save. I stepped forward. Now, I know, I said. You all have to go through me. The Inquisitor's mask tilted slightly. Hey no, he said, and then he advanced. Wah! The girl's breath hitched, and the hum returned, louder than ever, rising through the force like the war itself had come back to claim us. The hum grew so loud it felt like it lived inside my ribs. The Inquisitor walked toward us with the certainty of someone who already saw the end. His blade cast long red shadows that crawled across the tunnel walls like cracks, spreading through stone. The girl trembled beside me. I felt her fear surge through the force in a sudden spike of heat, bright and uncontrolled. He felt it too. You all kept her hidden, us, he said, voice steady as glacier ice. Boo, her presence betrays you. I stepped forward, letting my body fall into the stance I had spent years pretending, forgotten. Not a warrior's stance, a protector's. Weight centered, breath slow, every movement deliberate. She is not yours, I said. The Inquisitor's head tilted. She is no one Nansia, he replied. That is the gift of the Empire. It frees the galaxy from the chaos of choice. His saber hummed, vibrating through the metal floor. You were a healer once, he continued. Rare discipline, gentle hands, compassionate spirit, time. It must have been agonizing, watching all you once believed collapse into ash. The girl clung tighter to my sleeve. I felt her heart racing. No one to do. You do not need to do this, I said. I do, he replied simply. I'll do what we were shaped for. The words hit deeper than he knew. He lunged. His saber cut the air in a downward arc. I moved instinctively, redirecting the strike with a sweep of my hand, guiding the energy against the wall. Sparks burst. Heat scorched my cheek. The girl stumbled back, eyes wide with terror. The Inquisitor pressed forward. He was controlled and measured, nothing like the wild rage of lesser hunters. He fought like someone who remembered what it meant to wield a blade with purpose. Each step boxed me in. Each strike tested me. Each breath carried the cold certainty of someone who believed he was doing the galaxy a kindness. I dodged, parried with my forearm, braced in the force, redirected momentum. Every motion reminded me of wounds I once tried to heal in others. You are outmatched, he said calmly. You know this. No. Nah. Known worse truths, I answered. He thrust. I slipped aside by a breath. The blade slashed across my robe, searing flesh beneath. Pain flared. The hum surged with it. Behind me, the girl cried out. Holler. Her fear rippled raw, bright, uncontrolled. The Inquisitor pivoted toward her slightly, sensing the spike. Yeah? He whispered. There she is. Well, I know, I said, pushing forward, striking at his wrist with a force-augmented blow. He staggered back, half a step. His saber dipped, humming against the floor. His mask turned toward me with something like surprise. You fight harder for her than you ever did for the Order. He said. Shah's not the Order. Yeah. I know. D. Is a child with power she cannot control. A danger to herself. No. To you. To everyone. Mu and see. Ah. I tightened my grip on the force. I shall's alive. I said. Ahanyan, that is enough. He twirled the saber in a lazy arc that betrayed none of the lethal precision behind it. Ow. You cannot save her. Ow. The hum rose a gnaw deeper, lower, resonating with something ancient in my bones. Ahoy can try all day, I said. He rushed forward. Nay! The tunnel flashed red. His swings came faster. Noel. Testing. Pressuring. Wearing down my breath. I felt the Gurlos panic behind me, her presence trembling like a thin thread pulled too tight. The Inquisitor feinted left and brought his blade down toward my shoulder. I caught his arm with both hands. His strength surged. Mine faltered. He drove me backward until my spine hit the wall with a jarring crack. My vision blurred. His mask hovered inches from my face. Are you heal wounds, saw? He murmured. But some wounds can only be closed through purging. I felt the blade angling toward my ribs. The girl screamed. Her power exploded. Not outward, not like a wave. Inward, tile, focused, compressed into a single point of terror and longing. It hit the force like a stone, dropped into a still lake, sending ripples through every molecule around us. The Inquisitor's grip faltered, not by force, not by recognition. You. He turned his mask toward her, slowly, as if he were seeing a reflection he had hoped never to find again. He whispered. She is strong that The air thickened. Dust rose from the floor. The walls groaned as if the very stone protested the pressure building inside the tunnel. I gasped. You are losing control. Trying. She cried, hands shaking violently. I don't know how. The Inquisitor steadied his blade. This is what fear creates, he said. This is why your order failed. I pushed off the wall, driving my shoulder into him, forcing him back a few steps. He recovered instantly, but the interruption gave me enough breath to speak. Do not listen to him. Shoo, I whispered to her. I breathe. Slow, right one, like the still pool. She tried, but fear warps instruction. Her power spiked again, sharp enough to send a hairline crack through the tunnel ceiling. The Inquisitor noticed and smiled beneath his mask. She is already drowning in it, he said. Lee, me and her suffering? I know. Too. I stepped between them. He surged forward. Our bodies collided in a flurry of strikes and blocks, red light carving arcs across the darkness. I could feel myself tiring. I had not trained for war in years. I had not slept properly in months. My side throbbed where his blade had grazed me earlier. My breath came ragged. I was not going to win. Why? But I didn't need to. I just needed to give her a chance. The Inquisitor sensed my weakness and pressed harder. Each strike hit with precision meant to disable, not kill her. He wanted me alive until he broke her spirit. A cruel calculation. A strategist's cruelty. He swept my legs with a sudden kick. Oh, I hit the ground hard. My vision flashed white. The hum in my ears became a roar. He pointed his saber at my throat. She will watch you die, he said softly. And then she will follow. The girl screamed again. High, painful, tearing at the air. Her power burst like a fault line giving way. The tunnel shook violently. Pipes ruptured. Dust cascaded from the ceiling. Meow, meow. Machinery groaned. The ground beneath us cracked. The Inquisitor snapped his gaze toward her, raising a hand to shield himself as the force surged. She will bring this place down on all of us, he hissed. She us terrified. I rasped. I don't. You made her terrified. He advanced toward her, the saber angled downward. She staggered back, tears streaming down her face. I stop. She cried. Police. Stop. He did not. He raised the blade. I pushed myself off the ground with everything I had left. No. The force erupted from me with a force I had not felt since the Wara, Ilara's strength, not meant to kill but to protect. It slammed into the Inquisitor like a shockwave. He flew backward, crashing into a support beam that bent with a deafening metallic scream. The girl collapsed to her knees, sobbing. The tunnel continued to shake. The ceiling cracked wider. Chunks of stone fell around us. I rushed to her, lifting her into my arms. Our way. Have to move on, I said urgently. No. Die. Behind us, the Inquisitor rose slowly from the rubble, sparks flickering across his damaged armor. His mask hung crooked, fractured down the center. You cannot run, he said, voice warped with fury. This ends tonight. Nawas? I whispered, carrying her toward the deeper tunnels as the ceiling began to collapse. All night. Tonight. The hum filled the air. The air filled with dust. And somewhere above us, the Star Destroyer opened its hangar doors. The hunt was no longer in shadows. It was here. And it was not going to stop. The ceiling gave way behind us in a roar, like a starship hull tearing open. Stone, metal, and centuries of dust crashed down where we had stood moments earlier. I kept the girl pressed against my chest as I stumbled through the dim tunnel, each step jarring my injured side. The air thickened with grit. My lungs burned. The hum inside my skull rose to a feverish pitch, vibrating through bone and breath alike. Behind the collapsing rubble, I felt the Inquisitor dragging himself free. Relentless, unbroken. One, Mudsir, following our presence through the dark like a predator tracking blood. No. The tunnel forked ahead, left toward the old mining shafts, right toward the lower vents. I didn't hesitate. I turned left. The girl clung to my robe, her face buried against me. Ayan sorry on, she whispered. Ayan sorry. You did not mean to I do not speak on, I said softly. Oh brave. I kana ta you must. Anna. Her breath hitched again. Fear radiated off her in sharp, painful waves. The force responded to her panic like a lightning rod. The tunnel lights flickered. Dust spiraled in unnatural patterns. I murmured, guiding her hand to my chest. Feel my breath. Match it. One inhale. One exhale. For a moment, the force around us steadied. Then, the wall behind us exploded. Stone shrapnel tore down the tunnel, slicing past my face, embedding itself in the ground at our feet. I spun, shielding her from the blast. Dust clouded everything. Through the haze, a figure stepped into view. The Inquisitor. His robe hung in tatters. His mask was half shattered, revealing the pale, tense mouth beneath. His lightsaber burned with a distorted hum, wobbling slightly from damage to its emitter. You cannot protect her, he said, voice echoing through the broken mask. I know from me, not from the Empire, not from what she is becoming. She has a child, I rasped. Anything more. Rule. She is power on, he answered. On power without discipline becomes ruin. Doom. He stepped forward. I raised my hand, gathering what little strength remained, but he moved faster. He swung the saber low, aiming for my legs. I leapt back, nearly stumbling. Pain shot up my side again. Why? My vision blurred. My breath caught. I was running out of time. Aruna, I whispered to her. Doshaway. Dus meshuway. I know, she said fiercely, refusing to let go of my robe. The Inquisitor lunged. I parried with the force, redirecting the blade so it scraped against the tunnel wall, spraying molten stone. The girl screamed as heat washed over us. He twisted the saber, cutting a diagonal arc through the air. I dodged by inches. The weapon hummed past my throat, leaving a trail of heat across my skin. You cannot win, he said, calmly. No, I agreed. Until we didn't expect command you to kill me. I agreed, and I pulled down an overhead support beam with the force. The metal groaned, tore, and crashed between us, showering sparks. The tunnel ceiling dipped dangerously. Dust filled the air so thick it felt like drowning. I grabbed the girl's hand and ran deeper into the shaft. The tunnel narrowed, curving sharply downward. The floor turned from stone to old rusted grates. Echoes twisted around us. Healer, she whispered, voice shaking. I'm scared. I know, I said. But fear is not failure. It is warning. Madame Jane. Her grip tightened. When will it stop? When we survive this. Behind us, metal screeched. He was coming again. The tunnel opened into an enormous chamberon, old mining pit, carved deep into the Munas crust. Broken lifts hung from the ceiling, like skeletons. Giant drills lay rusting on the ground. The chamber was a maze of old scaffolds, and hollow shafts plunging into blackness. I stopped at the edge, chest heaving. The girl stared down into the pit. I turned so deep. She whispered. Yes, I said. Dark sea. Yes. A hum rose behind us. The Inquisitor stepped into the chamber with the poise of someone arriving exactly where he intended. If this ends here, he said. His saber ignited again, casting red light across the vast emptiness. The girl pressed into my side. He is going to kill us, she whispered. No, I said softly. No, you. Her eyes welled with confusion, fear, grief. What do you mean? I did not answer. There was no gentle way. I stepped forward, placing myself fully between her and the Inquisitor. The Inquisitor lifted his blade. "Are you fight with conviction?" "Ah," he said. "Our weight will not save you." "Ah, Iton's not meant to," I whispered. He lunged. This time, I did not dodge. I met him head on. Our clash was not elegant. It was not strategic. It was survival sharpened into a single moment. His saber hummed inches from my face as I locked both hands around his wrist, muscles screaming. The blade sizzled through the air, tracing heat across my cheek. Behind him, I felt the Gurla's terror spike. The Inquisitor pushed, forcing me toward the edge of the pit. My boots scraped over stone. The drop gaped behind me, a endless throat of shadow. "You are weakening, he said. "Ah, yes, I breathed. "I good died. His mask tilted in confusion. And then he felt it, the force shifting, power gathering. Coming, not in me, in her. The girl stood with both hands raised, trembling violently. Tears streaked her dust-covered face. The air around her vibrated. Cracked. Bent. Her fear had tipped into something far more dangerous. Desperation. I saw the moment he realized it. He released me and turned toward her. Nona. But she was not listening. A scream tore from her throat, raw, primal, born from terror and loss and the refusal to lose the only person she trusted. The force obeyed. The mining chamber erupted. Air compressed inward. Dust and debris shot upward in a swirling vortex. Metal scaffolds groaned and snapped like twigs. The entire chamber trembled under the weight of her power. The Inquisitor staggered back, bracing himself. "You don't understand what you are doing." He shouted. "I don't care." She cried. I felt the force surging through her wild, unbound, ripping through the room with enough strength to tear the pit apart. She was not controlling it. She was not guiding it. She was drowning in it. If she did not stop she would destroy herself. I rushed toward her, fighting against the gale of energy. The wind cut against my skin like knives. My robe whipped violently around me. The air vibrated with a shrill hum, sharp enough to split stone. "Listen to me." I shouted. She shook her head, clutching her hands against her chest as the chamber cracked around us. "I cannot, you can." Her power surged again, shaking the walls. I felt the ground shift beneath my feet. Breathe. I yelled. Focus on me. She gasped, sobbing. "I am trying." The Inquisitor forced himself upright. If she continues, this place will collapse." He roared. Yes." I said, and I reached her. I grabbed her face gently but firmly, forcing her eyes to lock onto mine. The storm of power screamed around us. Her pupils were blown wide, drowning in terror. You are not alone now," I whispered. "Ahoido, you hear me? You are, Dre, not alone." She trembled violently. "I don't want to hurt you." Are you wanna? Ah. I cannot to. You do not have to. Come. Her breath caught. I'll let it go, I said softly. Give it to me. She choked on a sob. Scared. I pressed my forehead to hers. Ahozo, am I? Something shifted in her. Something broke. Something healed. Her power collapsed inward, folding like a dying star, pulling its light back into itself. The storm died. Wow. The dust settled. The air stilled. She collapsed into my arms. I caught her, holding her close. Behind us, the chamber groaned. The Inquisitor rose slowly, his mask hanging off one side of his face. He stared at the girl with an expression I did not expect. Pity. Moan. She will destroy you. He said quietly. I know, I answered, brushing her hair from her face. She will save me. He lifted his saber. Not in rage. In resignation. I must end this. I shifted the girl behind me. Now, Noah, I said, and the hum returned steady, running through the force like the heartbeat of something ancient waking beneath us. The chamber floor cracked. The pit yawned wider. The end had come, for one of us, or for all. The floor beneath our feet gave a low, groaning warning, stone fracturing, metal bending, the whole mining pit sinking under the weight of too much power unleashed in too little space. The air tasted of dust and old iron. The hum inside my skull deepened until it matched the tremor running through the chamber. The Inquisitor stepped forward, blade raised, its red light flickering from damage to the emitter. He moved without haste, as though he knew how the ending would unfold and had already made peace with it. There is no path forward for her, he said. No sanctuary, de Rustever, no hiding place. When the galaxy will know her eventually. Better this ends now. The girl stirred behind me, weak from the power she had barely survived using. I felt her hand grip the back of my robe, small fingers trembling, seeking reassurance in the dark. I kept myself between her and the hunter, even as my legs threatened to give way. You speak, like someone who remembers mercy, I said. But long forgotten its shape, me. His exposed mouth tightened. I remember it, he said quietly. I remember watching it fail, again and again. He took another step. The chamber floor cracked outward from the pit's edge like a spiderweb of fractures. A section of scaffolding collapsed with a shriek of metal, plunging into the depths below. You think are saving her, he continued. But you are only delaying her suffering. I know. The Empire will find her eventually. And when they do, I will not let them out, I said. He inclined his head. You believe that, he murmured. You truly do. A strange hollow sadness colored his voice, an emotion I had not expected from someone who hunted children. That belief is what brought us all to ruin. He lunged. This time, there was no moment of hesitation. No measured testing. He attacked with the precision of a man delivering a single inevitable conclusion. His saber cut a brutal downward arc, aiming for my throat. I stepped into the strike, redirecting with a palm braced in the force. The blade hissed past my cheek, scorching the air. Pain seared through me where it came too close, but I kept my footing. His other hand shot forward, a force push meant to break my stance. I countered with one of my own. The two shocks collided in a thunderous crack that sent dust and pebbles scattering across the chamber floor. My legs nearly buckled. His stance remained iron solid. He pressed forward again, thrusting with lethal accuracy. I dodged, barely. The blade slashed across my ribs. Heat burned deep, splitting through flesh. I staggered, breath tearing from my lungs. Behind me, the girl cried out, "Ah, healer. Ah." The Inquisitor used her voice as an opening. He spun and drove the hilt of his saber into my jaw. Stars burst behind my eyes. I fell to one knee. My vision blurred. The ground tilted beneath me, threatening to drop away entirely. He stood over me, blade poised. "This is mercy, he said. "Oh no, I whispered, voice thick with blood. "This is surrender." "No was magubami chandarabde. Arsuch ashul jagura shakterbais." He paused on, just long enough. The girl screamed again, no with fear this time, but with refusal, with a sound that tore from her tiny body in a raw, ripping wail that reverberated through the force. The Inquisitor turned. Her power flared. The force did not explode outward like before. It did not spiral. It did not rupture the environment around us. This time, it gathered. It condensed into a tight, focused pulse of raw intent, drawn from desperation and love, and the terror of losing the only anchor she had left in the galaxy. Her tiny hand extended. The force obeyed. The Inquisitor was ripped backward as though hooked by the ribs. His body slammed into the far wall with such force that the durasteel plating dented inward around him. His saber flew from his hand, spinning end over end into the pit, vanishing into the dark below. He collapsed to his knees, mask shattering around him. I stared at her. She stared at her own hand in shock. "Awa, did ia?" she whispered. "Are you protected me on?" I said. She shook her head violently. "Ahoy did not mean to hurt him." "Are you dinda?" "Oh," I said. "Are you defended yourself?" But the Inquisitor rose again. Slowly, painfully, unbroken, even now. His face was half exposed, a gaunt, haunted visage marked by scars old and new. His eyes, once hidden, burned with something more complex than hatred, recognition. Your banda," he rasped. "I ties you together, stronger than anything the Order ever taught. Run." He staggered forward. "She will break herself for you." He said. Just as you will break for her." No." I moved in front of her again, even as my knees trembled. "I stay back how," I warned him. He ignored the words. He stepped to the very edge of the cracked platform, the pit yawning open beneath him like a mouth waiting to swallow the next body. "You cannot outrun what is coming." He said. Empire, the Inquisition. Thou, the truth of what she carries." He extended a hand, shaking, bleeding, but steady, with conviction. "Let me take her off," he whispered. "I will train her. Numerson. I will temper her. No. She will not suffer your fate." The girl's breath tightened behind me. No," she whispered. I met the Inquisitor's gaze. You would turn her into this all. I said, gesturing at the mask, the scars, the empty eyes. He flinched as though struck. I would make her survive. Ani. She is surviving. I said softly. With me. No Sui. He stared at me for a long moment. Then something in him broke quietly, invisibly, like a bone snapping beneath the skin. Ahozo biata, he said. He stepped forward. The cracked floor gave way. A massive sheet of stone collapsed beneath him, plunging into the abyss with a roar. He stumbled, arms flailing for balance. The entire platform tilted toward the pit, dragging loose debris with it. He fell, but not before his hand shot out and caught the edge of a twisted beam jutting from the wall. He dangled above the void, feet kicking against empty air, fingers slipping. The girl gasped. I moved before she could. I grabbed the beam with both hands and anchored myself against the shifting floor. The entire structure groaned under our combined weight. The Inquisitor stared up at me in astonishment. Are you Arjera? Helping me out, he rasped. Ki. Are you Andre alive? I said. Ahoitas, enough. His grip trembled. Why? Viral. He whispered. After everything? I met his gaze. Because, still a healer. His fingers slipped. The beam cracked. His hand reached toward me, not in aggression, not in desperation, but in something like understanding. The floor beneath me collapsed an instant later. I lost my footing. I fell. The girl screamed my name. I saw the Inquisitor's hand reaching for me. I reached back. Our fingers brushed and then the pit swallowed us both. Darkness closed overhead. The hum roared. Weight vanished. And the last thing I heard before the fall consumed me was the childish voice, breaking with agony. Helera. Then silence, Yum-tu, and the long, cold descent into whatever waited below. The fall felt endless. Not in distance, though the pit was deep enough to swallow a starship's hulla, but in sensation. The air tore past my robes in icy streams, ripping breath from my lungs. The hum that had followed me since the end of the war surged louder than ever, vibrating through bone and blood until it felt like my body was dissolving around it. Darkness swallowed everything. No up. No down. No sense of time. Just the fall. Then impact. I slammed into something hard enough to knock the world out of me. Pain detonated across my ribs, my spine, my skull. The air fled my lungs. My vision burst white, then black, then something in between. I lay there, unable to move, listening to my heartbeat stutter into a weak rhythm. Alive. Barely. A second impact heavier, crashed nearby. A choked groan echoed through the dim cavern that swallowed us. The Inquisitor. I tried to rise. My arms shook violently. My legs refused. My body felt like a shattered kyber crystal held together by a thread of will. Above us, far above, I heard the faint, distant wail of a child crying my name. It cut deeper than any wound. Asha. She is still up there. The Inquisitor rasped somewhere in the dark. His voice sounded fractured, as though the fall had shaken loose pieces of him he had not touched in decades. I forced air into my lungs. Arashia's alive, I whispered. My throat felt raw. Although trapped. Arshi will be found, he murmured. Our OT troopers will sweep the tunnels. The destroyer will deploy probes. She cannot escape. I tried again to rise and managed only to roll onto my side, coughing blood. You underestimate her, I said. He gave a low, bitter laugh, immediately twisted by pain. You underestimate us, he said. They trained us to track fear. And the child is drowning in it. My hands curled weakly against the cold stone. She is not alone. He shifted in the darkness, barely audible. You cannot protect her if you cannot even stand. Mine too? I can stand. I whispered. I couldn't. Not yet. Right. But I needed to try. The cavern was dimly lit by bioluminescent fungus clinging to fractured rock. Strange tendrils of pale blue light snaked across the walls and ceiling, revealing the depth of the underground abyss we had fallen into. Massive stone columns jutted upward like the ribs of an ancient beast slain beneath the Munas crust. The Inquisitor lay several meters away, half buried under slabs of collapsed stone. His mask was gone. His face ashen, gaunt, lined with old sorrow, looked almost human in the faint light. Saved me, he murmured. You knew. I tried. You did not. Try for yourself. Horror. I know. Dot feel. He exhaled slowly. I wondered if any of us still existed. He said. Ahoti, ones who cared more for life than victory. No. Ni. I did not answer. The admission was too sharp, too raw in my throat. He shifted, gritting his teeth as he pushed a piece of stone off his legs. She will die up there, he said. Unless one of us reaches her. Then we climb, I said. He gave me a long, unreadable look. You cannot climb in your condition. Will. You are broken. Doing the irritantly. Hozo is she. Something flickered in his expression. An emotion I could not name. He closed his eyes. Ethan help me, he said. And I will help you. The words pierced me. You want me to help you up the wall? No, he said quietly. You help me stand, and I help you live long enough to save her. A Helari's instinct warred with every memory of what he had done. But this was not a battlefield anymore. It was a grave, and she was up there alone. I dragged myself toward him. Each movement ached with tearing agony. He watched me with hollow patience, as though ready to accept the blow if I chose to strike instead of help. But when I reached him, I placed my hand on his chest, closed my eyes, and reached for the force. Pain shot through me. My vision dimmed. Healing always required more of me than fighting. But I let the force flow through the narrow channels, still intact in my battered body. He gasped. Not in pain, in recognition. Hey, had forgotten. He whispered. I said nothing. Healing him felt like pushing warmth through dead branches, slow, reluctant, resisted by years of injury and decay. But bones aligned, blood flow steadied. Muscles that had partially torn began to knit, though imperfectly. When I pulled my hand away, I nearly collapsed. He caught my arm. Enough, he said. Watch her child. You need more, and you will fade. Here I need to climb. I said. You need me, he corrected. And in that moment, though I despised it, he was right. He helped me to my feet. My legs trembled violently. Darkness swam at the edges of my vision. But I stood, barely. The cavernous far wall rose in a jagged slope leading to a narrow fracturine upper tunnel that might return us to her. The ascent was brutal, steep, crumbling, but possible. The Inquisitor stepped toward it first. Follow me. He said. If you fall, I will not let you die. Why? I asked. His jaw tightened. Because she needs you, he said. Because once long ago, someone saved me when I did not deserve it. MT. His voice trembled as if the memory pained him more than the fall. I nodded. We climbed. Hand over hand. Why? Stone cutting into our palms. Dust choking our breaths. Agony rippling through every muscle. More than once my grip faltered. More than once he caught my wrist before I slipped. More than once he stumbled, and I lent him my shoulder. We climbed in silence except for our ragged breaths, bonded by nothing but the mutual certainty that a child above us was running out of time. Halfway up, the rock shook violently. A distant explosion echoed through the tunnels. The girl's raw screama, sharp with terror, reverberated faintly through the stone. My heart stopped. Arashia's fighting them. I whispered. Arashia's losing. Aki said. But I knew. Fear amplifies. Panic distorts. A child alone, surrounded by armed soldiers, would unleash power she could not shape. She will kill herself, he said softly. I forced my hands higher, fingers cracking. I hissed. No, while I breathe. The Inquisitor climbed faster, ignoring his injuries, driven by a strange urgency I did not understand. You care for her too much, he said. You don't care enough. He did not argue. The crack in the wall widened above us, glowing faintly from the lights of the upper tunnels. The hum in my head sharpened, turning into a shrill warning. A section of stone gave way under his foot. He slipped. I grabbed his arm. He dangled above the abyss again. For a moment, we were back where we began, 2 broken lives suspended over a darkness waiting to finish what the fall started. He stared up at me, breath shaking. Why do you keep saving me? No? He whispered. I tightened my grip. Because someone has to, I said. His eyes softened. Not with gratitude, with understanding. I am down you, Aurora's huge. He climbed back up beside me. Minutes later, we reached the upper tunnel. Light flooded in. Smoke thickened the air. Screams echoed tanti. A mix of child and stormtrooper, Dashu. She was close. Too close to losing herself. The Inquisitor ignited the faint, sputtering remnant of his saber. Are you ready? He asked. I swallowed blood, pain, fear. No, I said. Then, I stepped into the light. We go, anyway. The tunnel ahead glowed with an unsteady strobe of blaster fire, bursts of red and white flashing against the smoke-choked air. The stone under my boots trembled with each shot. The smell hit first. Scorched metal, burning cloth, ozone thick enough to sting the lungs. Beneath it all was something sharper, something that made the force curl in warning. Fear. Hers. It pulsed through the corridor like a heartbeat gone wild. We rounded the corner. Michelle. And there she was. The girl stood in the center of a shattered hallway, her small body silhouetted by the flickering lights. Stormtroopers surrounded her in a semicircle, their blasters raised up, yet none dared step closer. Their boots skidded backward, weapons trembling in hands that should have been disciplined beyond fear. She was not attacking them. They simply could not move. The air around her rippled as if heat shimmered off her skin. Dust hovered weightless in a sphere around her. Loose stones floated inches above the ground. Even the smoke curved in unnatural patterns, drawn toward her like breath toward a drowning lung. She was hyperventilating. No, her power was spiraling, and she was seconds from losing control completely. One trooper fumbled a step back. Hold your fire, hold your fire. Yasha His legs locked mid-step. Mid-we. His body froze. His voice strangled into silence. She did not mean to restrain him. She could not stop herself. The Inquisitor exhaled sharply beside me. Arsha's on the edge. Now, Maisie, we haven't done. Now, I stepped forward before he could. The stormtroopers saw movement. Blasters swung toward us. The child saw movement too. Her head snapped toward Mia, eyes wide, pupils blown, tears streaking her cheeks. Terror and relief warred in her expression. Hail her! Ah, she cried, voice trembling like shattering glass. The force flared around her. No. I shouted. I do not lash. Auton look at me. No. She tried. The moment her gaze met mine, the rippling air softened. Then a trooper panicked. Fear makes fools of even the most conditioned soldiers. He fired. No. A single bolt. Straight at her. She screamed. Her scream tore through the force like a detonation. The bolt froze mid-air, suspended inches before her chest. Then it reversed direction. It hit the trooper in the helmet, knocking him off his feet. Right. The other soldiers staggered. The Inquisitor whispered, Orshas, absorbing attacks. She does not know how to release the energy. You will rupture. I'm done. I knew. Children were not channels. Children were containers. Containers overflow. I stepped closer. The air pushed back, thick and violent. My robe whipped behind me. My wounds flared with fresh agony. I felt blood run warm beneath the fabric. Arshihaz not listening. The Inquisitor said. Arshihaz, drowning. Arshada hear me. I said. I don't know if it was true, but belief was all I had left. I forced my way into the pressure, every step a battle against an invisible storm. The floor cracked beneath my feet. My vision blurred from strain. Yes, she will kill you. A trooper shouted. Oh, no, I said. She is trying to save herself. I reached her. Barely. You tried. Huge arcs of force energy spiraled around her like a maelstrom, flickering white-blue with each tremor of fear that passed through her shaking body. The pressure hammered my chest, making it hard to breathe, harder still to stand. But I lifted my arms and wrapped them around her. Her body was shaking uncontrollably. Asilira, I cannot stop it on. Yes, you can. I whispered into her hair. You breathe. I breathe. Just breathe. I'm scared. Ahozo. Am I? The storm surged. One final desperate explosion of pressure that shook the whole tunnel, shattering lights and sending debris clattering across the floor. Let it go. I whispered. Give it to me. I'll hurt you. You cannot. Tie. She sobbed, gasping for air, and then she exhaled. The force rushed out of her in a single, collapsing wave. The floating debris slammed to the ground. The stormtroopers collapsed to their knees, gasping. The energy sphere around her flickered, then dissolved into trembling silence. She sagged against me, shaking from head to toe. The Inquisitor stepped forward cautiously, saber off, his posture lowered as though approaching a wounded animal. She did not break, he said softly. She bent. No. Adi. I held her closer. Her breathing steadied. Barely. Is it over? She whispered. I know, I said. I know yet. Us. The stormtroopers, half crippled but conscious, crawled for their rifles. The Inquisitor ignited his saber with a sputtering hiss. He raised Italnot toward me, not toward Hera, but toward the troopers. Their eyes widened behind the white masks. I know, I said sharply. He did not lower the blade. We will call more, he said. She cannot survive waves of soldiers. She can, I said. With us. He hesitated. A long, painful moment. Then he flicked his saber off. The hallway fell into a strange, exhausted quiet. The stormtroopers pulled back, dragging wounded comrades, retreating down the tunnel towards safety and reinforcements. We don't have time, the Inquisitor said. More will come. I know. The girl clung to me, weak but conscious. What do we do? She whispered. I rose slowly, lifting her with me. My ribs screamed. My vision wavered. My legs barely held, but I stood. We run all, I said. Past the northern shaft, out of the outpost, into the valley. Theon, track us, the Inquisitor warned. Always probes, scanners, patrol ships. There is no escape. Often we do not escape. I said. Disappear. The girl looked up at me through exhausted eyes. I'm rather quite future. To where? I exhaled slowly. A place where the Empire does not look. Such a place exist. She whispered. I said. Because even in a galaxy consumed by Waron, some shadows are too deep for even the Empire to reach. The Inquisitor looked at me with something like grim acceptance. I'll lead the way, he said. And for the first time since the war ended, I felt something stir inside me. Not hope, but purpose. Ahilara's purpose. To protect the fragile spark the galaxy wanted to extinguish, even if it meant breaking myself again. even if it meant running into a darkness deeper than this one. Why? I shifted her weight in my arms. The hum inside me steadied. "Away go," I said. We moved into the dark. The deeper tunnels narrowed as we ran, forcing us into a single-file descent through the cracked gut of the moon. The air grew colder, the walls slick with condensation from ancient water veins, long since abandoned by the miners who carved them. My breath rasped in my chest with each step. The girl clung to my neck, too drained to walk, her heartbeat fluttering against my collarbone like a wounded bird. Behind us, the Inquisitor moved with grim determination. His own breathing was ragged, each inhale edged with pain, but he pushed forward without hesitation. Not for himself. For her. For a child who had nearly killed him. The tunnel opened into a wider chamber, an underground way station once used for ore transport. Broken power, conduits arc sparks across the ceiling. Abandoned cargo pallets lay scattered in the dust. A tram rail stretched into the distance, disappearing into darkness. "Our way can follow the rail, the Inquisitor said. "Our way leads toward the northern plateau." Our way also leads toward patrol routes, I answered. "And if we stay in the interior, we'll suffocate once the Empire seals the entrances." The girl stirred in my arms. Will they really do that? Yes, the Inquisitor said without hesitation. "Ahurto them, you are an anomaly. An uncontrolled variable. They will not allow you to slip through their grasp." She pressed her face into my robe. "Donna, let them take me." I tightened my hold around her small frame. "Hey wanna, that tati." Not while I still had breath. We followed the tram rail. Dust rose in thin clouds beneath our feet. Strange low hums echoed from deep within the stona. Vibrations I could not trace, half mechanical, half natural. The entire moon seemed to pulse faintly, as if reacting to the stress of the hunt happening within it. She is amplifying the resonance, Ashe the Inquisitor murmured. I frowned. Her moon has no Kyber veins. I know. ... But it has structure. Pressure points? You? A child with her potential disrupts balance. You felt what happened above. I had. She had nearly torn the outpost apart. But now she lay quietly against me, exhausted to the point of fragility. The turbulence inside her had quieted, dimmed, like embers cooling after a wildfire. Asha's not dangerous. I said. He gave me a long, tired look. She is the most dangerous kind of child he said softly. One who feels too deeply. I said nothing. We walked for nearly an hour. The corridor tightened, then widened, then twisted around deep fissures lit by faint bioluminescent streaks. I could sense stormtroopers above us, dozens spreading through the upper levels like cracks in a pane of glass. Their comm chatter echoed faintly through the rock. Sector 3. Clear. I'm moving to Sector 4. Probe units deployed. Raser Tuyed. Life signatures detected near the south shaft. Horrors, sweep and flush. Lethal force authorized. The girl shivered. We are running out of time, the Inquisitor said. Yes. The rail curved sharply ahead, leading into a broad cavern where abandoned machinery slept beneath layers of dust. A broken elevator shaft stood at the center, its cables dangling like severed tendons. There, I said. The shaft led upward toward faint traces of fresher air, toward the surface. Oh, but between us and the elevator, motion stirred. A faint, metallic whir. Then a red sensor light blinked on in the darkness. A probe droid. It rose into the air with an eerie mechanical hiss, its sensor tentacles swiveling in our direction. A shrill beep pierced the air as it scanned us. The girl clung to me. The droid's alarm triggered. Blaster bolts erupted from its underside. I spun, shielding her, but the Inquisitor moved faster, igniting his flickering blade and hurling it in a spinning arc. The saber sliced through the Proboss chassis, sending it crashing to the ground in a shower of sparks. But the damage was done. Awe transmitted. He said, retrieving the saber hilt. They know precisely where we are. Footsteps thundered above the cavern. Metal boots. Many. By. Damord su mishudir. All thou saber mal dure. Nere. Irawasalai. As in Dishurigashi. I scanned the elevator shafta. It could not be climbed quickly with a child, and the lift itself was dead. I knelt and pressed my palm against the metallic floor. The force thrummed faintly. There's a maintenance ladder behind the panel. I said. The Inquisitor stepped forward and drove his fist through the rusted metal, tearing it aside. A narrow ladder stretched upward through darkness. He said. Are you first? Nah. Are you wanna make it up in time? You're, Awayan, delay them. The words froze me. No, I said. Your wound is deep. He replied. You can barely stand. You cannot fight. I can. Then you're moral. I looked at him fully then, seeing not the mask of an Imperial hunter, but the ghost of the man he had once been. A Jedi Knight, twisted into a weapon of the Empire, yet still carrying the faint spark of something unextinguished. Are you die? I said. I shade. He shrugged one shoulder. I'm away, all die. The girl looked between us, terrified. I know, she whispered. Do not leave him. Leave him? He knelt before her. His movements were slow, stiff, heavy with pain. You are stronger than you know, he said. Boo. Strength is useless without time to grow into it. His scarred hand trembled as it hovered near her chica, but he did not touch. Can give you that time. I cannot. She began to cry. I do not, she whispered. I do not stay behind. He closed his eyes. Awe was a child once too, he said softly. No one saved me. The sound of stormtroopers dropping into the cavern echoed behind us. Rifles primed. Orders barked. You. Boots striking stone. Go, he said. I hesitated. Police, he said, opening his eyes again. Me do one thing that matters. There was no more time. I nodded once. He rose shakily to his feet, igniting his saber with a sputtering hiss just as the first stormtroopers burst through the upper entrance. Aran! He roared. I stepped onto the ladder, clutching the girl against my chest. We climbed. The sounds of battle began behind Usal blaster fire. Screaming metal, the roar of a dying man trying to buy a few moments for a life he would never know. The girl sobbed into my shoulder. Ahihal dia out. Yes. I whispered. But he chose it. And we climbed upward through darkness, away from the only redemption had ever allowed himself, toward the surface, toward more danger, toward a future I no longer understood. But she held my robe tightly, and that was enough to keep climbing. The ladder felt infinite. Rung after rung scraped against my palms, skin tearing, blood slicking the metal. My wounded side burned with each movement, a hot, pulsing throb that crawled up into my ribs and down into my legs. The girl clung to me with trembling arms, her breath hot against my neck, her small body shuddering each time a distant blaster shot echoed from below. But the worst sound was the silence that grew between volleys. A silence that meant the Inquisitor was losing ground. A silence that meant a life was ending. A silence that meant his choice was nearly complete. The tunnel narrowed as we climbed, the air thinning. Dust drifted down from above with each vibration of the rock. I counted my breaths not to maintain calm, but to force myself to stay conscious. 10 breaths. 20. 30. 40. Sorry. My arms began to shake uncontrollably. My vision blurred. My fingers slipped once, twice. Ahilera, do not fall, she whispered. Hey, won't. I lied. Her tears soaked into my robe. The noises below grew fainter. A blaster discharged ahs. A second time, then a screamer, raw, guttural, cut short. The girl stiffened. Yes, I whispered. Ahubud, he was helping us. Yes. Silence answered her next question before she spoke it. We climbed deeper into the darkness until a faint draft brushed my face off, cold, thin, carrying the smell of the surface, dust, frost, the sharp sting of barren air. Close 8, I said. My strength was nearly gone, but I forced myself upward through the last stretch until the ladder ended at a rusted hatch overhead. I braced my shoulder and pushed. The metal shrieked, stubborn from decades of disuse. A tree again. She whispered. I pushed harder. The hatch jerked open, and a beam of faint moonlight spilled into the shaft, painting the air silver. I climbed out onto the barren ridge. The wind hit us instantly, cold enough to bite through fabric and skin. Jagged rocks stretched across the surface like broken teeth. The sky was cloudless, thin, almost brittle in its clarity, and above us, dominating the horizon, lay a star destroyer. Its underbelly glowed with harsh white lights, cutting through the darkness like surgical blades. Shuttles moved between hangar bays. Probe droids patrolled the surface. Searchlights swept across the valley floor in slow, patient arcs. The Empire was now searching for survivors. It was closing a net. She buried her face in my shoulder. We cannot outrun the Mon. I know, I said. I know, on foot. Then, what do we do? I know. I looked up at the Star Destroyer on, its engines thundering softly. A distant storm waiting to break. I would disappear, I said. How? I turned toward the jagged outcroppings at the valley's edge. There's a place, I murmured. The miners never mapped it. Too unstable, too remote, too dangerous. Powen sounds bad. Ahoy is, which means the Empire wanna go there. She stared into the darkness of the valley. Will we survive it? She asked. I didn't answer. I didn't know. But survival was never a guarantee. It was always an act of defiance. I held her tighter and stepped down from the ridge onto the steep slope leading into the valley. Loose stone rolled under my feet. The descent was treacherous. My vision wavered again. Our healer, she whispered urgently. Are you tired bleeding? No, healer. Ahayaf. Been bleeding. Jow. Are you not okay? I said. Agbu, I do not need to be. Here. A harsh mechanical screech ripped through the sky overhead. I looked up. A probe droid hovered not 30 meters away, its red sensor sweeping toward us. Its tentacles twitched. Its targeting system locked. Hold on, I said. The girl clung to me tighter. The droid fired. A bolt screamed through the air. I twisted, nearly collapsing under the sudden motion. The bolt grazed my arm, searing fabric and flesh. Pain flared hot and immediate, white blinding. I stumbled, but I did not fall. The girl raised her hand instinctively. Oh no. I hissed. Her power surged. Then died mid-spark. Say. She was too weak. The droid charged another bolt. I braced myself. A red flash ignited from the side. The probe droid exploded. I froze. The girl gasped. A shadow stepped from behind a jagged rock. Formation, tall, cloaked, hood pulled low. A lightsaber blade smoldered in his hand. Its color blue. The hood pushed back. A human mana, mid-30s, tired eyes, dirt smeared across a once clean tunic. A face marked by loss. A presence marked by something rarer. Survival. D. He extinguished the blade. I saw the destroyer in orbit, he said quietly. I knew it could only mean one thing. Man, are you on Jedi? I rasped. He said. No anymore. You shouted. He stepped closer, his gaze falling to the girl. She did that surge, didn't she? Yes. And she nearly killed herself. Yes. Yay. Aren't you already protecting her? Us? Yes. He nodded slowly, as though realizing the shape of a story Hathod walked into without invitation. Then he said the words I had not expected to hear from anyone, especially not here. I can get you both off-world. The girl inhaled sharply, hope flickering through her fear. I stared at him, barely able to stand. Why? And tell her? I asked. Because she is a child, he said. Aryan, the galaxy owes children more than it ever gives them. He looked into my eyes, searching steady. Because you are trying. Me? I felt the truth in his words. My body was giving out. My mind held on out of sheer stubbornness. The force flickered inside me like a candle drowning in its own wax. How long? I asked. Hours, he said softly. Maybe less. The girl clutched my robe with both hands. No, she whispered. No. Ha's okay. Ha's okay. He has to be okay. Ah. Her tears hit my sleeve. I put a hand on her cheek. Hey, not okay, I said gently. Booey, here. Or. She shook her head, trying to press strength into me through touch alone. I looked back at the fallen Jedi, this ragged survivor with a blade still bright enough to cut through despair. I take her, I said. The girl froze. Her breath broke. I know. Doom. I take her, I repeated, my voice cracking from more than pain. Heeder. Teach her. Keep her alive. She wrapped her arms around my neck, refusing to let go. I am not leaving you. You must. She shook her head violently, sobs racking her small frame. You no. Hey, we'll follow, I said. We'll catch up. She pressed her forehead to mine. You are lying. No. Trying to make it easier. It was not easier for either of us. The Jedi survivor approached gently. You don't have long now, he said. He want her to live. She must go now. I nodded slowly, my vision dimming. The girl clung to me with desperate strength. I will not go, she whispered fiercely. You are my healer. You all I have. Her voice, tiny, broken, fierce, felt like a blade sliding between my ribs. You all I have to, I said. But you must live for both of us. The sky thundered above as shuttles launched from the destroyer. They were coming. Fast. The survivor extended a hand toward her. I come out, he said softly. Keep you safe. She shook her head, her grip on me tightening. Then I collapsed. My knees buckled. The world tilted. I fell to the stones. Still conscious, but barely. Her scream tore through the valley. Healer. I reached for her hand. My vision blurred. My fingers touched her saw, and the darkness rushed in. I did not let go, but she was pulled from my grasp. Her cry echoed through the valley as the survivor lifted her into his arms. I tried to rise. I could not. The wind carried her voice, raw, desperate, shattering. Ahilera, donata, pleasea, donata, The survivor ran. Stormtroopers descended from the cliffs. Searchlights swept across the valley. I lay on the stones, bleeding, breathing shallow, the world fading to a thin ribbon of sound. Her voice carried on that ribbon until it broke. Police, dona, dia, and then on. Silence. The hum inside me dimmed, and for the first time since the Clone Wars, I felt the Force go still. The stone beneath me was cold enough to leach, thought from bone. My breath came shallow, each inhale smaller than the last, as if the air itself were slipping through cracks in my chest. The world dimmed at the edges, light, sound, sensation peeling away layer by layer. For a moment, I wondered if this was what the troopers had felt in my arms during the war, when life slid through their fingers faster than I could catch it. The hum inside my skull, once deafening, faded to a low trembling whisper. Not gone. Not yet. But fading. Footsteps echoed somewhere above me, a distant, panicked, urgent. Stormtroopers shouting orders. Blaster fire crackling against stone. The distant roar of shuttle engines. The valley had become a hunting ground, and I was no longer prey worth chasing. I lay there, unable to move, listening to the galaxy narrow into a single thread of sound. Her voice, faint now, carried on the wind like an echo from another life. Ahulara, please sha ta. I tried to answer. My mouth barely opened. No sound emerged. My body had nothing left to give. A shadow crossed the sky, on of the shuttle sweeping low, searchlights fanning across the valley. The beam passed over me briefly, pausing as if considering whether the broken form on the rocks was worth reporting. Then it moved on. I forced my eyes open a fraction. The sky above was sharp with stars. Cold, unmoving, indifferent. So many stars. Too many to count. Wah. During the war, I used to count them while meditating, imagining the lives beneath each one, the warm threads of the Force tying everything together. Now they looked like distant embers, fading in the dark. I wondered if this was what death looked like from the inside. Not darkness, not pain, just distance, a slow drifting away from the world. I felt something not pressure, not force, not pain. A presence. Warm, what? Gentle, familiar, daw. A hand brushed against my forehead, not physically, not truly, but through the Force. Her hand I've been me. Light, fragile, trembling. Ahilara. The whisper was sound. It was memory. It was connection. It was the last thread tethering me to life. I clung to it. Barely. Her presence wavered all farther now, carried away by footsteps and breath and the desperate urgency of escape. But the bond remained, thin as silk, strong as grief. I felt her panic as if it were my own. I felt her reaching for me, even as the survivor pulled her away. I felt her fear of losing the only anchor she'd ever had. And beneath it, Allah. I felt her light. Small, flickering. Pa. Alive. What? I closed my eyes. The Force dimmed further, retreating from my skin, my breath, my bones. It curled inward, folding around my heart like a final embrace. The non. Footsteps. Owl. Dimabine. Sky. Soft. Measured. My deal I'm sorry. Not stormtrooper boots. Not running steps. Just a steady, quiet approach. I forced my eyes open. A cloaked figure stood over me, silhouetted against the starry sky. Not the survivor. Not the Inquisitor. Someone else. Someone who moved with purpose, not haste. Someone whose presence in the Force felt like a deep, distant tide, cool, steady, ancient. I tried to speak. Nothing came out. The figure knelt. A gentle hand pressed to my chest. Fingers splayed lightly over my heart. And suddenly, I breathed. Air flooded into my lungs in a painful rush. My chest convulsed. My eyes watered. The world brightened around the edges. The figure spoke softly. You are not finished. Not finished. The voice was calm, low, carrying the weight of long roads and quiet suffering. A voice shaped by exile, by survival, by the burden of witnessing the fall of everything once believed unbreakable. My vision sharpened enough to see a bearded face, hood shadowing tired eyes surrounded by scars the galaxy had not earned the right to see. A name passed through my mind like a spark, but he spoke before I could grasp it. "Ah, there is a child who needs you. No one on me." I swallowed hard, breath shaking. "Ah, she has gone," I whispered. "Ah, they took her." He took her. Yes, he said. "I'll auto-save her." Beamer. Pain surged through my ribs. "I cannot ta. I cannot follow you." "No. You can." "Nah. I am dying. I know," he said gently. You are breaking. Do I?" His hand pressed more firmly over my chest. Not healing, not mending, but steadying. The force moved through his Tushano as power, but as presence. A reminder of breath, of weight, wash, of connection. A healer, he said. You know better than anyone that breaking is not the same as ending. Tau. Tears pricked my eyes. "I failed her." "I didn't. I failed her." You did not he said. You chose her." A long silence stretched between us. The wind whispered across the stones. Searchlights swept the valley in distant arcs. "Ashirim, can't be sewing." "What?" But here, in this small circle of stillness, the galaxy felt briefly held together. "Aya opa," he said softly. "Awe kana." "Titchare." You can all," he said again. No, because of strength. Because of purpose." No. Well, the hum in my skull flickered. Weak. Mams. But alive. The child has a future. He said. One. The Empire will fear. He rose slowly, offering no hand, only the expectation that I would rise. His final words were quiet, heavy, full of sorrow. "I shall need you." "Need you?" "Nani." He turned toward the ridge. "I and you need her." "No, Hati." Then he walked away, vanishing into the rocky darkness like he had never been there at all, leaving only cold air and the fading echo of his presence in the Force. For a long moment, I lay still. The null. I breathed. I pushed one hand against the stone. "You?" My arm trembled. I pushed harder. I rose to my knees. Pain flared through every bone. I rose to my feet. The world tilted. I steadied myself. "No." The hum inside me steadied with me. She was out there, pulled away by a man who meant well, pursued by an empire that meant ruin. She was afraid, and she was waiting. I turned toward the northern valley, past the cliffs, past the jagged outcroppings where the survivor had fled. My legs shook. My wide, nitty wings. My breath shuddered. But I walked. No, because healers do not stop when their bodies break. They stop when the light goes out, and hers had not gone out. Not yet. Not while I still breathed. Not while the Force still whispered her name through the dark. The wind cut across the valley floor like a blade. Sharp. Wamble. Unforgiving. It carried grains of dust that stung the eyes and scraped against torn skin. Each step I took sank slightly into the loose gravel, forcing me to fight for balance with legs that threatened collapse. But I did not stop. The Gurlaw's presence shimmered faintly in the foresaw, flickering, unstable, like a candle being carried through a storm. Not gone, but drifting farther with each heartbeat. I followed that flicker. The cliffs loomed ahead, tall, jagged silhouettes against the pale sky. Between them, a winding ravine carved its way toward the northern reach of Ganero, twisting, barely wide enough for two figures to pass at once. The survivor had taken her that way. He was smart. Hiding in open terrain against Imperial scanners was suicide. The ravine offered shadows, cover, interference, but not safety. No, was true. Yeah, not safety. Never safety. My legs buckled once, twice. The third time, I caught myself against a boulder, breath tearing through my chest in shallow gasps. The world tilted. Darkness crawled in from the edges of my vision. Blood dripped from my fingers, warm at first, then chilling in the wind. I pressed two fingers to my neck. My pulse fluttered weakly. Dying. Naur. He had been right. No. I closed my eyes and reached out. The Gurlaw's presence pulsed faintly at Tot, frantic, wrapped in fear. But not just fear. Something else. Resistance. Party. She was fighting against being carried. Oh, of course she was. She was fighting for me. A soft tremor passed through the Era footsteps. Light, dew, quick, what? A staggered rhythm. And another, behind, heavier, determined. Voices followed Dan, faint words swallowed by wind, but recognizable. She must keep moving Stay low on Donna, look baka. Ahoy Donna, want to go any farther I Donna Tasha, not behind Usa. Hey wouldn't say wouldn't ata. You all see him again Art. You lying. Her ta. He a dying guy. He felt ita. Her voice cracked with a painful clarity that cut straight through my chest. I pushed off the boulder. I walked. Stumbled, but forward. A shadow passed overhead, a shuttle sweeping low, its engines roaring just above the canyon rim. Searchlights scanned the ravine, beams slicing across rock like cold knives. I pressed myself against the stone wall, breathing shallowly. The shuttle passed, not spotting me. Not yet. I waited for the roar to fada, and then moved again. The ravine narrowed, the walls rising so sharply on either side that the sky became a thin strip of pale light overhead. The air here was colder. The stone damp. Each footstep echoed, reminding me how exposed we were in this funnel of rock. Her presence flared suddenly, bright with fear. The gnaw. A cry. Distant. Dot. Echoing down the ravine. Pi so big down may country. Healer. Not memory. Not illusion. Near boy now, welcomed, now be my hero. Her real voice. Alive. One. Terrified. Calling for me. I forced my legs into a run. Each stride sent agony tearing through my ribs. My breath came in jagged bursts. Dark spots burst across my vision. My heart hammered unevenly, skipping beats. Still, I ran. The ravine curved sharply and I nearly fell when my boot struck a loose stone. I caught myself against the wall, lungs burning with fire. Ahada. Movement. Two figures. The survivor, half carrying the girl, Her arms flailed against him, weak but desperate. Ah, healer. Lisa has hurta. We cannot leave him all. We cannot. Ah. He knelt quickly, gripping her shoulders. Ah, if we stop, the Empire will art. He froze. She froze. Both stared past him at me. Leaning against the stone wall, barely upright, blood slicking my robe, breath ragged but alive, she broke free from his hold. Ah, healer. Ah. Her small boots skidded on the gravel as she ran. She nearly fell twice, stumbling forward with all the grace of a child, half exhausted, half frantic, but unwilling to slow down. She slammed into me with such force that I staggered back into the wall. Her arms wrapped around my chest, face pressed against my torn robe, sobs shaking her entire body. Are you alive? You are alive, ata. I tilted my head down, resting a trembling hand on her hair. I told you, I whispered, barely audible. Ahoy, follow. Me. She clung tighter. Her voice was muffled, thick with tears. Donna, leave me again. An. Away, wanna. Yao? The survivor approached slowly, relief flickering across his face, tempered by reality. You cannot stay here, he said. Our troopers are minutes behind. The Yara sweeping the ravine from both ends. Mems. I? No. He studied me posture, my breaths, the raw exhaustion leaking from every movement. You wanna make it far? I know. His expression tightened. Ahithiras, a smuggler saw den at the northern ridge, hidden cavity in the rock, died. They used it before the war to avoid imperial tariffs. It was empty now. I can take you there. Bell. I will. It hide us. For a while. And then? He shook his head. One hiding place at a time. I nodded. He crouched, looking at the girl. We have to keep moving, he said gently. Can you walk? None. She wiped her eyes with the back of her hand. Yes. She lied. She could barely stand. I knelt and lifted her onto my back. She wrapped her arms around my neck, her small heartbeat pressed against my spine. The survivor nodded approvingly. I stay low. I keep to the wall. We moved deeper into the ravine, the wind growing harsher, the shadows colder. Behind us, distant voices echoed tall helmet-filtered commands, the rhythmic stomp of boots moving in formation. Closer and closer. I stumbled once, knees nearly giving out. The survivor grabbed my arm, steadying me. Are you need rest? He said. I know. I gasped. No, yet. You are past your limit. Yeah. Yes. Herzo, why keep going? I adjusted the girl's weight on my back. She buried her face between my shoulders, clinging to me. Because she is still breathing, I said. He nodded silently. We rounded another bendati and stopped short. The ravine ended at a sheer cliff. A drop of nearly 50 meters plunged into darkness. The survivor cursed quietly. I no path across. He said. I heard the smugglers tunneled through the side walla. There should be an entrance, ah? He ran his hand along the cliff face, searching for seams, for hidden panels, for the doorway he remembered. The girl lifted her head. Oh, healer? Oh, yes. What do we do now? I closed my eyes, reached out. The force swept through the stone like a cold breeze, tracing cracks, cavities, hollow spaces carved into the rock. I felt a faint hollow pocket behind the walla, but the entrance was collapsed, sealed by time, or sabotage. Ahaiton's thereon? I said. Iabu buried. Yeah. How? Ahoithan we dig, the survivor said. No time I answered. He? The gorilla's voice trembled. The honorary coming ga. Time gati. Blaster bolts echoed far behind or distant, but approaching fast. The survivor stepped toward the wall, igniting his saber. Way cut through. Ahino. Ein. He turned, frowning. I'll bring the entire wall down. Here. Then what? He snapped. Ariar, at a dead end. I shifted the girl from my back, setting her gently on her feet. I knelt before her. She grabbed my face with both hands, tears returning. Don't leave me again. Oh, she whispered. Ahoy wanat I said. I pressed my forehead to hers. Do. You trust me? Nah. Yes. Now? How's your eyes? Nah. She did. I stood slowly, turning toward the dead-ended cliff. My legs shook. My breath rattled. My vision pulsed with shadow. But the hum inside me flared not with life, with purpose. Wide with purpose. I placed both hands against the cold stone. The survivor's eyes widened as he understood. No, he said. Are you too weak? Weak. You kill yourself. Maybe. Do not. You. She needs shelter. Non idea milra baniru de casu. Not her devoured. He stepped closer, gripping my shoulder. There must be another way. There is not tat. The girl grabbed my robe. Ahilera, stopa, pleasia, stopa, achi. I smiled weakly. Close your eyes, I whispered. Remember how to breathe. She sobbed. The survivor cursed under his breath. I drew the force into my bone saw. Not gently, not carefully, but with raw, desperate resolve. Pain lanced through my spine, my ribs, my skull. My skin felt too tight, my chest too small, my heart too slow. But the stone wall shuddered. Cracks spider-webbed outward from my palms. Dust rained down. The cliff trembled. Ahohia's going to bring it down onto open. Ita, the survivor murmured in horrified awe. Yes, that was the plan. I pushed harder. My knees buckled. Blood filled my mouth. The hum inside me swelled until it drowned out every other sound. They gnaw? The cliff groaned. A deep, ancient groan. And in the hidden doorway, massive, weathered long-buried shifted half a meter inward. Enough for them. Not enough for me. My vision collapsed into static. My body folded. I felt arms catching me. The girl screamed. Now, ah, meru. Ah, healara. Healara. Ah. Her hands pressed against my cheeks, her tears falling fast. Ah, polisa. Steya. Pleasa. Donata. Ah. The survivor dragged me toward the opening. Ah, move. Ah, he shouted. I tondo collapse. Any momenta. But her hands were on my face. The force flickered between us. Me. Weak. No. Small. But hers. Trying to give something back. Trying to save me. Trying to do what she thought healers did. I do not die. Out, she whispered. I do not. Dia. Ah. Her presence surged up. Brighta. Warma. Painfully warma. And my eyes opened. Now, barely. Enough to whisper one word. R.2. Ah. The stone above us cracked. Hey. The cliff began to fall. The cliff gave a warning groan. Ah. Deep, ancient sound like the moon exhaling for the last time. Ah. Then the world fractured above us. Pebbles fell first. Then, fist-sized chunks of stone. Then, entire slabs. The survivor dragged me backward toward the narrow opening I'd forced. The girl grabbed my arm, her tears hot on my skin, her small hands trying to lift more weight than she could ever carry. Ah, healer, please, please, get upa. I tried. My legs refused. The rasp in my chest was no longer breatha. It was the sound of a body deciding its limits had been met. The force around me flickered like a star drowning in its own light. Ahiaha's not moving. Ah, the survivor shouted. Ah, help me, pull him. Ah. The girl planted her heels and pulled with all her strength. She did not move Mia, but the force did. I shove, unfocused, shaky, but enough to shift my weight toward the opening. Above us, the cliff cracked fully. The survivor roared, grabbing both the girl and me, hurling us into the dark cavity just as the entire mountainside gave way. A wall of stone thundered down. Light vanished. Why no? Dust swallowed the world, and the doorway sealed itself behind tons of collapsing rocka, cutting us off from the valley, the empire, and everything else. Darkness. Oh. Silence. Breath. Barely. The survivor coughed, waving dust from his face. The girl was already on her knees beside me, shaking, sobbing, pressing her small hands to my chest. Ahilara, wake up, please. Wake up, town. My eyes fluttered. I forced a breath into my lungs. It scraped like fire. Ah, young ma. Ira. I managed. She collapsed against me, crying so hard her entire body trembled. I lifted a hand, brushing her hair with fingers that barely obeyed. You are. Safa, I whispered. No. She shook her head violently. No. Oh no. Without you. Ah? Her voice broke. Meow. Something primal tore through it, a grief so sharp it bent the air. The survivor knelt beside us, his face dimly lit by the glow rod hashed just cracked. You saved us, he said. Arbu, you did not. Save yourself. Imder. I did not argue. I couldn't. My vision dimmed again, edges turning soft, unfocused. Ahihas crashing. The survivor said. We need to move deeper. Find shelter, find anything. The girl stiffened. No, she whispered. Die. He won't let him die. The survivor softened. Chelda. There are limits. She turned to him, tears streaming down her face, voice shaking with fury and fear. Ah, you saved me. Well, both of you did. I will not lose another person. Ah, her hands pressed against my chest. Her brow furrowed, and the foresaw shifted. Her palms trembled against my chest, a small, shaking, desperate thought. But the force gathering beneath them was not the wild, unfocused storm Shaw had unleashed before. This was different. Quieter. Raoul. Tighter. Do you? Held together by something stronger than fear. And so I will be. Love. Love. The survivor felt it too. He stepped back instinctively, as though witnessing an ancient rite he did not dare interrupt. The glow rod cast pale light across the child's face. Her eyes were squeezed shut, tears leaking down her cheeks, her breath hitching in uneven gasps. But the force around her tightened, coiled, drew inward instead of out. Ah, holler, ah, she whispered, voice breaking. Ah, do not go. Ah. Her hands pressed harder. Ah, do not go. Donna, go. Donna, go. Pain flared through my chest, sharp, piercing, but not the pain of dying. The pain of life being forced back into a body trying to give it up. I gasped. My spine arched. The force pushed against my failing heartbeat like hands, trying to restart a dying engine. Not precise, not trained, not controlled, but honest, pure. You. The survivor's breath caught. She has, channeling too much odd, he said. She'll tear herself apart. Nanimridi, you, Gaga. She shook her head violently, eyes still closed. I can do it on, she cried. Ahoy kana, just help her, just stay at on. She pressed harder. The air trembled. Stone dust spiraled around her feet, rising in slow arcs. The cavern lights flickered with the pressure of raw connection. My pulse stuttered, then steadied, weak, but there. She sobbed in relief. I feel you, she whispered. I feel you. I feel you. Donna liva. My hand lifted shakily. I brushed her cheek. I rasped. You all. Harm yourself. You said you. She shook her head, hair plastered to her wet cheeks. I wanna lose you. I wanna run. The force surged once more, too stronger, too deep. I stopped. I gasped. She froze. Nine. Her eyes opened wide, terrified. I did something wrong. Did I hurt you? Did he? Oh no, I breathed. You saved me. The one. She collapsed forward, burying her face against my chest, sobbing with exhausted relief. The survivor knelt beside us, overwhelmed. Asha, she shouldn't be able to do that. He whispered. No, without training. Not at her age. She shouldn't that. Oh, I said softly. But she did. Her small fingers clung to my robe like roots digging into soil, refusing to let go. You are alive, she whispered, voice raw. I felt you slipping. I felt it. I could not let it happen. I know. Do not leave me again. I not die. Not while breath remained. Not while she needed me. Not while the Force still gave me purpose. Oh. The survivor rose, clearing his throat. I have to move on, he said quietly. The cave will collapse from any additional seismic pulses. And when the Empire finds this sealed entrance, they all dig their way in. Yeah. I nodded. My limbs shook as I slowly sat up, the girl gripping me as though any moment I might collapse again. Pain lanced through my ribs, but I lived. Because she willed it. I placed a hand on her shoulder. You saved my life, I whispered. She wiped her tears with the back of her wrist. You saved mine first. Now, we shared a moment of silence, heavy, painful, warm, dying. Then, I forced myself onto my feet. The tunnel stretched ahead and narrow, sloping downward, lit only by the survivor's glow rod. Dark, cold, dangerous, but it was a path. And for now, that was enough. Come on, I said. My voice shook. We go deeper. We rest. We find a way out. Blue. Mood. The girl slipped her small hand into mine. I wanna let go, she whispered. I smiled weakly. Neither will I. We limped into the dark. How? Behind us, the collapsed cliff groaned under its own weight. Ahead of us, something waited. Not safety, not sanctuary, something harder, but necessary. Were necessary. The child had healed me. Now I had to become worthy of being healed. The tunnel sloped downward into a cold, stale darkness that felt older than the war, older than the mining outpost, older even than the Republic. The walls were carved by ancient Hansa, uneven, rough, not shaped by machines. Symbols half erased by time flickered beneath the glow Rodaw's pale light. Spirals, jagged marks, shapes that suggested both maps and warnings. The air smelled of dust, metal, and something faintly sweet. Old minerals exposed to open air for the first time in decades. The girl clung to my hand, her small fingers tightening each time the stone creaked or the wind moaned through cracks in the rock. Her earlier surge had drained her completely. She walked as though each step weighed twice her size. Her eyes remained fixed on the faint circle of light the survivor held ahead of us. Where are we? She whispered. The survivor brushed his thumb across one of the ancient carvings. These tunnels were here long before the miners, he said. Smugglers expanded them later. They run deeper too deep. Imperial scanners cannot map them. Too much interference. She pressed closer to me. It's safe down here? I know, he said bluntly. But Eton's safer than Watata above. She tightened her grip. I crouched enough to meet her eyes. Safety is not a place, I said softly. Hightal's a moment. Nai, Kashume. And right now, this moment is ours. She breathed shakily, but nodded. We moved on. My legs trembled with every step. The healing shot given me kept my heart beating, but the damage remained deep, structural, the kind that would take days of meditation and Bacta to repair. Days I did not have, but her presence beside me steadied something the Force alone could not. She was alive. Alive because of me, and I because of her. The survivor's voice echoed in the darkness. You are weaker than you look, eh? He said quietly. Ari am all, I admitted. No, Ah, how long? Ah, I know long enough. Ah, he nodded, as if confirming something he'd already suspected. Ah, you did not expect to live past the fall. Ah, I know. Dot. Ah. Ah. Ah, now? Ah. I exhaled slowly. Now I must. Ah? The girl looked up at me, eyes wide. You have to she whispered. One, not done. Ah. Her words settled into my chest with a weight heavier than any wound. We continued deeper, until the tunnel opened into a cavern so vast the glow rod barely illuminated the nearest corners. Metal platforms hung suspended by ancient cables, swaying gently as cold drafts drifted through the abyss. Stalactites hung like daggers overhead. A drip echoed through the hollow space. The survivor stepped forward cautiously, scanning the shadows. This is the heart, he said. Our pickups used to land here. Smugglers built pathways through the upper ledges. The girl peered into the void. Our buitons empty. Ahor, now he said. Something in his tone chilled me. He was not telling us everything. I turned to him. You know this place well, I said. He hesitated. Used it. Once. For what? He looked away. For running. Died? A long silence. Running. Doshed. From who? From what? And then the force shifted. Cold. Me. Sharp. Eye. Unmistakable. I felt it wrap around the cavern, like a wire tightening around a throat. The survivor stiffened. The girl gripped my robe, and from the far darkness of the cavern, a voice echoed there. Slow. Icy. Measured. Icy. Thorn. I've run far enough. A glow ignited. Red. Not one blade. Mallory would be himself, Monsieur. Two ways. Their light cast fractured shadows across the cavernous walls, revealing the shape of a figure stepping from the Glumatal, armored in dark plates, mask carved in cruel lines. An inquisitor, not the one honed fallen with me, another, stronger. You, alive, vet, and not alone. Stormtroopers emerged behind him, fanning out along the ledges, blasters aimed with lethal precision. Their white armor gleamed like bones under the twin crimson blades. The girl gasped, pressing herself behind me, her fear rippling through the force like a tremor before an earthquake. The survivor ignited his blue blade. A hiss. A snap. Wow. A glow. He stepped forward. I knew they would come, he said quietly. I stared at him. What did you do? Auntie. He did not answer. The Inquisitor's voice rolled across the cavern like a slow tide. The survivor of the siege of Eridus. He said. Traitor who fled his post. The Jedi who abandoned his order long before it fell. The survivor's grip tightened on his saber. Ahoy, did not abandon anyone. Are you abandoned yourself? The Inquisitor said. And now you hide with a child who is not yours to protect. No. The girl trembled. He was not here for the survivor. He was not here for me. He was here for her. The Inquisitor lifted one blade, pointing it directly at the girl. I give her to Miak, he said. Oh, and I will kill you quickly. No. The survivor moved in front of us. Ahino.ki. Ah. I stepped beside him, despite the agony running through my legs. Towel. Ah. The girl grabbed my arm. Ahora, Her voice was so small, so afraid. The Inquisitor tilted his head slightly. Ivan, all of you will die, he said. Hilally. All. He raised his sabers. Stormtroopers readied their rifles. The survivor lowered his stance. I steadied myself beside him. The girl, barely standing, reached out and grabbed my robe with both hands. The force coiled around us, waiting, breathing, listening. This was not escape. This was the reckoning. Hurry. The cavern air thickened. My heartbeat slowed. Her small hand squeezed mine. I squeezed back. The Inquisitor stepped forward. And everything in the force bent toward the moment of collision. The cavern held its breath. The Inquisitor moved first, gliding across the suspended platform with a predatory grace that belied the heavy armor he wore. The twin red blades carved reflections into the darkness, slicing lines of crimson light across the stone. Stormtroopers along the upper ledges raised their rifles in perfect synchrony. The survivor stepped forward, blue blade igniting into a steady hum like a heartbeat refusing to give up. I moved beside him, me stance far weaker, my breath ragged, the girl clinging to my robe. I could not fight. Not properly. Not against this. But I could stand. And standing was enough. Why? The Inquisitor's voice cracked through the air like ice breaking. You ran from Eridus, Jedi. Why? Wantastu castu. Commembratus tutor. You hid. You let your order burn. Or what? To die in a hole in the ground? Antibossi. The survivor's jaw tightened. Eridus was a massacre. A trap none of us saw coming. You saw, the Inquisitor said. You fled. The survivor did not deny it. The girl pressed closer to me, trembling. The Inquisitor lowered into a balanced stance, blades humming. Always a story repeats. Survivor. Today, again, you run. And again, those you would save will die. The survivor exhaled. New. He leapt. His blue blade clashed with the nearest red one in a burst of sparks, the sound of two philosophies colliding: duty against domination, survival against obedience. The impact shook the platform. Stormtroopers opened fire, bolts sizzling past us and splintering against stone. I pulled the girl behind a jut of rock as a hail of blaster fire rained down. My ribs screamed in pain. My knees buckled. But I forced myself to stay upright, shielding her with my body. The force trembled around her, fear rising, confusion building, power stirring beneath the surface like a storm forming in a child's heart. Donna, be afraid, I whispered. I cannot. Stop all. She sobbed. Everything hurts. I pulled her close. Feel the ground. Nesty, feel my breath. Donna, reach outward, reach inward, Her shaking slowed, but did not stop. The battle intensified. The survivor fought like a man who had stopped running the moment he saw Usat, fought with everything he had locked away for years. His blade traced arcs of blue light, parrying one saber, dodging the second, catching a blaster bolt in the same motion. But the Inquisitor was stronger, faster, trained by the same brutality that shaped the dead one, who had saved us. The Inquisitor whirled twin blades in a deadly helix, driving the survivor backward step by step. Sparks lit the cavern like dying stars. Each impact echoed with the weight of an entire fallen order. Oh, should have died with the rest. Ah, the Inquisitor roared, pressing the attack. Oh, maybe I should have. The survivor grunted through clenched teeth. Ah, boo, not today. Oh. A blaster bolt streaked toward the survivor's head. Goo. I reached out with the força. Not strong enough to deflect, but enough to nudge. The bolt veered an inch off course, scorching the stone beside him. He spared me half a glance, both grateful and pained. Ah, you should not be standing. Aho, he called. Are Noah, I answered. The Inquisitor lunged. Twin blades scissored toward the survivor's throat. He ducked, barely rolling aside. But the force of it drove him toward the cavern's edge. A metal cable snapped beneath the strain. Now, the platform lurched. The girl shrieked. Ah, healer. Ah, bah. I braced her with one arm, reaching out with the force to steady the shifting metal beneath us. My vision swam. Sweat stung my eyes. The Inquisitor sensed my weakness. He turned toward me. Toward her. Card. A single step. A single intention in the force. And I knew, he was not here for the survivor. He was not here for me. He was here for her. The survivor roared, charging with everything left in him. But he was too far. The Inquisitor raised both blades. I tried to lift a hand, tried to summon the force. My vision dimmed. My heart hammered weakly. No, the girl screamed. Ah, and the silence. Not literal silence. A forced silence. A hollowing out of sound. Moo. A vacuum around her. The Inquisitor froze mid-strike. His blades inches from my chest. Suspended. Immobile. The stormtroopers blasters clicked uselessly. The survivors staggered to a stop, staring in shock. The cavernous dust hung frozen in the air. Even the glow rod's drifting particles paused mid-float. Only she moved. Small, shaking, eyes wide with terror and fury, hands raised, in control, but in instinct. She was not using the Force. The Force was using her. Her voice trembled. I don't hurt him. Now what's you? It echoed. Too loud for her small body. Too deep for her small lungs. Layered hers and something beneath. The Inquisitor's armor groaned as invisible pressure crushed inward. The metal dented. Sparks erupted from one blade. Blood trickled from his nose inside the mass. The survivor limped toward her. Non-stop. Child, stop. You do not know what you are doing. Oh. She did not hear him. Her eyes locked on the Inquisitor like prey, turning on a predator. He choked, feet lifting from the platform. Her voice rose. Donata, Herta, him. The platform buckled under the pressure. Cables snapped like screams. Stalactites cracked overhead. The cavern trembled under a power too great for its walls to contain. The Inquisitor's mask split duh. His armor crushed. His ribs snapped in a series of wet cracks. The survivor shouted, reaching for Hera. But if he touched her now, she would break him too. My vision swam. No, Nilti Wotani, Master swam. Pain tore through my ribs, but forced myself to stand. To reach. To touch her shoulder. Her voice shattered. No, Hilera. Has going to kill you on Habi Wazahe Omasta. I know I whispered. She trembled, unable to stop. I wanna let anyone hurt you ever again on. I gathered what remained of my strength. Not to stop her. To reach her. To remind her. You already saved me. Her breath caught. The force wavered. I need you. I whispered. I know your power. Your power. You. No. The cavern trembled. The Inquisitor's armor creaked like a dying beast. Her eyes filled with tears. I don't know how to stop. He raid. You don't need to stop it, Aunt, I said, pulling her gently toward me. You need to let it go. She sobbed. Way young, scared. Nah. Ahoso, am I whispered. Ahoso, is he? Nah. He was not. Here. But he needed to be. I wrapped my arms around her trembling shoulders. Her body went rigid, then limp. The force collapsed inward like a dying star. The Inquisitor dropped. Yo! The cavern went still. Dust floated again. Ow! Blasters hummed. The survivor fell to one knee, gasping. The Inquisitor lay broken on the stone, alive, but no longer a threat. The girl collapsed against me, sobbing into my chest. I did not mean, Tuan, act. I justa. I did not want ta. I know. I whispered. Me. I know. No. Her small hands clutched my robe. The survivor limped closer. We are not done. He said hoarsely. Troopers are regrouping. We need to move deeper. I nodded, but the Inquisitor, barely breathing, lifted his head. His mask split enough to reveal one eye, a bloodshot, filled with something I did not expect. Not hatred, recognition, whispered through broken teeth. Our she is fate to win. Ani, Anihima. It was not a threat. While we near my sheep covered summer shooting, it was prophecy. And then his head fell back, unmoving. The girl trembled. Ahulera, what does fate mean? I lifted her gently. Awe means I said, my voice trembling with exhaustion. That everything comes down to the choice we make next. Nimu? The cavern shook again, distant this time. A controlled detonation echoing through the tunnels. The Empire was digging. Fast. Efficient. Ruthless. They would reach us soon. The survivor staggered to his feet, leaning on his limp blue blade. The girl held my robe tight, still shaking from the storm she had unleashed, eyes rimmed red with tears and exhaustion. My ribs ached with each breath. Blood soaked the inside of my robe. No. The darkness at the edge of my vision pulsed like a slow closing wound. We did not have long. Away head deeper. To the survivor said. There is a drainage shaft. Old smuggler route to the outer mists. Hard to track. Harder to survive. Fui. Perfect. I rasped. D. He nodded grimly. We moved. Me. The cavern stretched into a narrow crevice that cut like a scar through the Munyo's interior. Each step sent echoes through the stone. Water dripped from overhead. My breath rattled. The girl stayed glued to my side, fingers knotted into my robe. Healer? Yes. You are not okay. I know. Too. Are you dying? Her voice cracked. It hurt worse than my wounds. I knelt, slow, shaking, to meet her eyes. Are you hurting? Us? I said gently. Hurting, Isa, different. She frowned, tears threatening again. How do you know? Because I'm still walking. I'm dating us, I'm a waker. It was not the truth, but it was close enough. She threw her arms around my neck, pressing her face into my shoulder. I do not stop. On, she whispered. Please don't stop, don't he? Milmar tenor, tatuatimane, katiwasu. I held her tight. My arms trembled. My vision blurred. But I stood. We entered the drainage shaft. It was narrow. So narrow the survivor had to turn sideways to squeeze through on, with cold water running at our ankles, pooling deeper as we descended. The air reeked of rust and old coolant. The tunnel sloped down into a deeper darkness that swallowed the glow Rodahot's pale light. How far does it go? I asked. Until it ends. On, he said. Not helpful, but true. We waded forward, and minutes passed. Maybe hours. Time folded strangely in the dark. The girl's weight against me grew heavier as her exhaustion deepened. I wanted to. She fought to stay awake, fought to keep her hand in mine, fought to stay tethered to a world that had been trying to pull her away since the moment she was born. You too, the survivor said suddenly, voice echoing down the tunnel. You share something I ought never seen. I looked at him. He continued walking, blade casting long shadows. Ahoe is not training out, he said. Ahe is not the force. Ita's choice. He stopped and faced me fully. You chose her. Every time. I nodded slowly. And you chose her because I did not answer. He stepped closer. Because she heals you. My breath caught. He was not wrong. Not in the literal sense. Her attempt at healing me had nearly broken her on, but in a deeper one. She brought back something the war had taken from me, something I never thought I'd feel again after watching clone after clone die in my arms. Purpose. One. Not duty. Not orders. Purpose. Potty. We moved again. Right. The shaft narrowed into an upward slope, walls slick with water. The survivor climbed first, pulling himself along jagged ridges carved by time and erosion. The girl slipped. I caught her. She clung to my neck, gasping. Do not drop me. I never drop you, I whispered. But my arms shook violently, under her small weight. At the top of the slope, the survivor found Ita, a metal hatch. Ancient, rusted, sealed from centuries of disuse. No, he pushed. It did not move. He ignited his saber, using the blade like a torch to heat the seal. Metal groaned, dripping molten tears onto the stone. Hurry, I said. Are they under close off? He replied. Blaster fire echoed through the drainage shaft behind Usa. Faint now, but growing. Time had run out. The survivor slammed his shoulder into the hatch. It gave. Light poured in on cold, fog-drenched, pale as early dawn. A marsh. A vast, endless expanse of silver-blue mist and waterlogged reeds. The far horizon disappeared into fog. You said this place was dangerous. I said. It is, he replied. Boo, not to us. He climbed out first. I lifted the girl up, pushing her toward him. She refused. Her fingers tightened around me. No. I am right behind you, I said softly. Promise. Unto. Hey, promise. She climbed reluctantly into the survivor's arms. I pushed myself upward. My arms buckled. The tunnel spun. Stone scraped my palms. Messy. Now, I fell back to my knees. I'll holler. She screamed from above. I'll hold her, I told the survivor. She whispered. No. The survivor turned, reaching down. I'll take my hand. I'm very word, Biwad. I took me, Kuiana Jarju. Yes, you. I tried. My fingers brushed his. Then, the tunnel shook. A blaster bolt sizzled into the wall above my head. Imperial voices echoed up the shaft. Contacta. They are rare. In the Draina Muva. Muva. I pushed myself upright. Hi. My legs trembled violently. The survivor extended his hand again. Hurry. The girl reached with him, tears streaming. Come on. Please, I managed one step. To be mo 2, 3, and 2. Blaster fire cut through the mist-filled opening. Master Q. I flinched, shielding my face, and felt the sting of heat across my shoulder. I'll heal her. I looked up. No. Her face, small, streaked with tears, reached for me. Her hand outstretched, her fingers trembling. I wanna leave you all, she whispered. I wanna you wanna Another bolt scorched the ground beside me. I pushed off the stone, forcing my body upward. Another bolt hit. Pain flared white-hot through my ribs. I collapsed against the wall. Healer. She screamed. Her voice cut through the battle noise. Through the pain. Through the dying light in my chest. I dragged myself up the incline, nails digging into stone. The survivor grabbed my wrist. Together we pulled. My lungs burned. I reached the threshold. Another bolt fired. I twisted. It missed her. It hit me. Just below the ribs. My breath stopped. The world went still. The survivor hauled me out, onto the marsh ground. The girl collapsed over me, screaming my name over and over, shaking me, tears falling onto my blood-soaked robe. Ah, healer, healer, non, noa, wake upan, ah. Her voice broke. The survivor knelt beside us, expression hollowed by grief. I breathed once, just once. The air tasted like metal and rain. Her face hovered above my na, eyes wide, terrified, refusing to accept what the Force already knew. "I do not leave me, Al," she whispered. "Al, do not leave me. Please, Al, go." I lifted one shaking hand, touched her cheek, a gesture so small, it hurt more than the wound. My voice was barely a breath. "I am not leaving Al," I whispered. "I am becoming what you need." "Ah," she sobbed. You are my healer." "Ah, all, what? And you are my lighter," I said. "No." My chest grew heavy. My vision dimmed. The survivor whispered something, voice cracking. "I'll let him go, child." "No, ha." She shook her head violently. I wanna, I wanna ta. The hum inside me, the one that had carried me from battlefield to battlefield, flickered then quieted. The Force shifted. "It made you alive." A final realization washed over me. I was not dying. I was returning. Returning to the current all healers eventually join. Returning to the place where pain becomes memory and memory becomes light. I looked one last time at the child who had saved me, who had broken me, who had become the reason I kept breathing long after breath should have stopped. "I live, I whispered. "I hope for both of us." "Don't." Her hands clutched mine. Her voice shattered. "No."